Hello and welcome in. We are currently getting ready for this weekend's first Winter Series event. We are getting ready for some Friday Frags, and today we've got Ryan in the house commentating for this wonderful event. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Pidgey. Thanks for asking, man. I'm excited about this.
Me too. Guess what? There hasn't been many changes in terms of what content there is in terms of what you can do in Fortnite this season. We're getting gradually to the end of this season. But what is more exciting is saying how Godzilla's coming out in a few days. So is Hatsune Miku in the game. So I'm pretty hyped about those two things. But that's besides the point. Last week, we had actually the duos tournament, which was absolutely phenomenal. It was really fun to watch. Baka and Unger absolutely dominating the showcase and really showed up. And I'm hopefully wondering who's going to go home with one of these beautiful trophies tonight, or today, I guess, not tonight right now, because this is an early event. But honestly, I'm just excited to see who's going to go home with one of these beautiful trophies. I mean, honestly, they look so good.
Yeah, dude, they look great. And for, this Winter Series having a trophy for, each of these events that we've been going through the last month of, it's been awesome for someone to walk home with a physical object of pride, I came here, I saw, I conquered. That's what we're all doing this for, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, as we are getting ready already for the first game of the event. Everyone's been waiting. They've been on edge, and they are so excited to see their favorite person compete here today. I'm just hyped to know that these trophies are finally going to go home with someone who deserves it. Like you said, who's going to be able to come out here, be confident, and at the end of the day, it's Fortnite. So your aim is 100% the key factor of winning these fights.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of these players, Pidgey, man. Usually I'm on the back side of the fence, so I'm able to see kind of every perspective and how all these players are playing. We have an amazing, group of players that come in at a very high skill level, and it's just awesome to see week after week here at the HyperX Arena.
It really is amazing to have so many talented players really opting to spend their time down here. I mean, we're giving back, especially in prize pools and everything else, and now the trophies. It's really cool because you generally never are able to see such a talented group of individuals playing on the same stage, in the same lobby. When you're playing online, you're going against so many different skill levels, even in ranked, you don't really know in Fortnite ranked who you're really going up against, how that's ending up. But what we're doing is ending up going out of the battle bus. We're getting ready for round one of this Friday Frags tournament. We are already dropping out with Festive Fuzz.
This is exciting. What's the glider here?
That's looking like a little bit of a, it's looking like a little Christmas glider going on right now. Being able to get this Santa Claus spirit, but we do have Baka in the house today, and it's really sad that we did have to put this so early. A lot of our main competitors not being able to come out for this main event series, but we still got Leviathan in the house as well. But I'm just curious to see how these fights are already going to start out, because we're going like pretty far out of the map, and we're already seeing a few competitors opting to drop in the same spot, so we might be seeing a ton of eliminations early already.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 5 players dropping one location. Looks like Bolts is taking a pretty safe drop here, just, looting up, no risk, just get your gear, get your equipment, get your mats, and then get to the storm, right?
Exactly, and we're already seeing people going down. Loco and Rapid grabbing some of the first eliminations of this game, and Bolts opting to not grab that weapon. Couldn't analyze what it was, but Dangle's also going to go down to Leviathan. We talked about it, that whole Whiffy Wharf, man. That was like 5 different competitors just waiting to go down. And one of my favorite strategies is to say that you should go for eliminations early.
Yeah.
Because they don't have mats, they won't have walls, and if you're not confident in your build, that's the best time to attack someone, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and like we said, high skill cap lobbies. Back in the day when I used to compete in PUBG, we would have a very similar philosophy on our drop style. Try to find a team or two that we knew was kind of a little bit, contentious on the areas that we were dropping in. But they knew that there was assimilated value, and we all knew that. So, it's kind of the best player comes out of those drops early with a massive lead. So by the time you get to the end of the game, you're not in a pinch to make a play happen. You don't have to play reckless. You get to play methodically all the way to the conclusion of the match.
1000% agree with you as well. Because with how this scoring works, we have a different way of point totals for this match. Because we had duos, and we saw how astronomically high those points went. We already know that. And especially for today, a Victory Royale is going to be 25 points.
Woo!
So that's a lot of points in the bag. So if you don't do good one round, don't panic. Even second place, 23 points. Third place, 21 points. And we're seeing Hunter taking down Overkill, going down the line once again. Fourth place, 19 points. Fifth, 17. 6th, 15, 7th, 14, 8th, 13, and going down all the way to 25th to 40th place, grabbing points. So everyone here is already starting it out with 5 points. So when you see eliminations happen, that's 1 additional point. So you can already see Rapid here, 6 points on the board. So this is going to be another high-scoring week for these competitors. So you can't really panic too much if you don't have one good game.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, with this point system is very you know, forgiving for this kind of formatting, and again, like you said, a lot of the top players and players that we have on our weekly averages not being able to attend at this early time. You know, this is I think one of the better scoring methods. But we see a nice fight here with CJ Money getting cleaned up there by 50 cal 18.
That is unfortunate. The 50 cal squad coming out fresh already in this game, but they didn't even do anything special there. They just put up some stairs, got the high ground, and was able to outmaneuver them and being able to grab their first elimination of this round. So really great work for them. Already repping out. You got the toy soldier skin, which I always think is a classic. It's a little bit weird to have like the clompers on the feet. I always think I'm like, I don't know why. I'm like, you should be standing still.
The clompers. I always refer to them as the steppers. Right? I think the clompers is a new one for me.
I always makes me feel weird. I'm like, all right, you should be standing still, toy soldier. What is this, Toy Story? What are we doing here?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
We got Cyclones on the screen, also with 1 elimination. Pinchko Burr now going to be able to be in a really good spot, especially with the loadout that they have. We already know we've got a lot of really fun items that can come to bite you also, because we have what you see there, the Oni mask, and that allows you to teleport, but a lot of people overestimate how far you can go with that teleporter, and we've seen a lot of people actually get eliminated to fall damage.
Especially on these mountains.
Exactly.
Where they find themselves right now.
They're tossing them over the mountain, and they're like, all right, good luck, I'm going forward, and then they get eliminated because they don't realize the ball is still dropping and fall damage will happen. So I'm excited to see if we're going to be seeing more of those sort of situations going forward once we get through a couple of these rounds. But Bowser Jr., absolutely love that name.
He's looking out. He saw that player behind him, and you know he's being cautious.
Levi Bear going for the teleporter up the tree, down the way, going to be able to try and land a little bit of damage to trim up these walls, but they're going to be able to claim these walls, build up some protection. They should really just go in for the elimination, but unfortunately they're opting to try and actually do a little bit of a smart move, trying to maneuver themselves around these builds and give themselves the best advantage if they are able to track where this competitor is going, and they're going to be able to break out that assault rifle. Unfortunately not able to land any shots there. Goes for the teleporter, still trying to land some shots. Only a little bit lands. Levi Bear still going for the chase, gonna go for the double teleport, and now with the high ground advantage, they're trying to break these walls and claim them, so they're able to manipulate the builds, trying to find any sort of damage. Third party comes out. They are in a little bit of trouble, and Cyclones trying to get out of dodge.
I mean, the tempo of this fight is so disciplined if you look at it. Both these players, 1 kill under their belt. They know that they want the point lead early, like we were talking about at the beginning of the match, but you know, when you already have that kill, how much do you need that lead? So they're spacing themselves out from each other, just trying to get away, it looks like.
Yeah, right when the third party happens, you're trying your best to say, hey, I just don't want to deal with the third party, and I don't want to lose all my resources either, trying to heal myself back up, use those small shields, and really trying to find the best way to win this fight. is running away at that point. Once the third party happens, it's really not the best idea to try and confirm one of these eliminations, because now you're dealing with two people shooting you from two different directions. Now you're losing mats faster than you ever have, like we're seeing with Levi Bear, trying to just find any sort of direction to get out of this fight.
He's had an unlucky kind of 1v1v1 situation here. You know, everyone's kind of got eyes on Levi here. But it looks like he's taking his time. He knows he's you know, operating low-key right now. He's kind of taking that heat off his back. He spent a lot of mats to, you know, reduce his priority there, and he's good now. But we got another fight kicking up here between Bowser Jr. And it looks like he's going to come out on top.
Leviathan dropping down into some bullets, and that's going to be Bowser Jr.'s second elimination of this round. Oh no, we're seeing 50 Cal Fruit going to have to play against the Storm now. Going to be able to build up and try and get around, maneuver themselves with the advantage. Nigel Walker is going to take a ton of damage of 50 Cal Fruit, able to shoot their toes and take them away. Don't know what happened with Nigel Walker and what discombobulated him, but now Riv is going to go down too.
Oh my gosh, man, that you know, that started as a third party, then there was a fourth party, and then it ended with Riv, you know, losing his spot in the match there. Unger dropping the shields, getting ready to take this fight. He sees somebody else building here, but you know, is there an opportunity? That is the question always. And is it worth it to take that opportunity? Is that risk, you know, going to be met with reward, or is it going to, you know, be a massive mat spend, you know, have no resources for additional fights kind of thing?
Banel Gaming on the screen now, going to be able to try and put themselves in a spot where they won't be seen, but unfortunately did not realize there was no floor there, so now they're going to have to fight their way up this battle. Currently now, going to be able to try and stay quiet so they don't know where they are in those builds, but now Unger going for another fight already. We're going to now have to work their way up to that high ground situation, building around, going to be able to maneuver themselves, but another third party already happening potentially, or was that just some lucky shots from Rapid? We're going to be seeing Unger teleporting across, trying to get to this boatyard, and now have to find them, and they do. Beautiful flick of the shotgun, trying to find where they're going next. Going to be able to pick up some big shields and try and find the next opportunity. And Rapid goes down to Loco. There was a third party just waiting for this to go down.
I mean, Unger's aggression here is really unmatched. You know,
it really is.
He's using that Oni mask to teleport right on top of these players. He is showing that he is here to play for those kill points as well as that placement.
He is actually doing some really great builds too. Week after week, we have talked about Zafu and Unger and how they're not playing as aggressive as they once were from like months ago, but I'm glad to see that Unger now is taking the priority and saying, hey, there's a lot of money on the line right now. There is a trophy
there's
on
a trophy
the line
this time.
So there is a lot to think about when you realize that a lot of these top competitors, not only are they going to be playing maybe a little bit safer, but they're also really aiming for the prize this week, because there is a lot to take home. It's 50 Cal Fruit going to be able to at least do an even exchange between these two fights going into this next build battle. Going to be able to pop some shields and try and get themselves back healed up. Loco, who was with us last week as well, great competitor and has shown off today as well, being that person who's always in the right spot at the right time to put out at least a little bit of damage.
Absolutely, and their ability, you know, I think we saw that early third party, you know, involved them, and in your 50 cal crew that you mentioned earlier, having a great run so far. You know, I think they're a kill each or 2 kills, 3 kills total between, you know, it is a solos tournament, but it is great to see that these players on an individual basis do play excellently outside of that kind of team environment.
1,000%.
Cool dynamic to witness.
Oh, Bowser Jr. also going to be able to find some other competitors. 50 Cal Hunter going to have to go and use some mats to protect themselves, opting to go for that teleport. But the teleport is really cool because I really appreciate that it's easy to read, because one, you can either juke out some competitors, as we already have been seeing on the spectator cam, where when you toss one of these out, these competitors immediately just go right over and look at when they're going to teleport. So you could easily actually juke out a ton of these competitors for this move, and that's one of my favorite things about this season and what they've added. But 50 Cal Hunter going to be taking so much damage. They have to find a way out of this situation, as they're going to have to pop some splashes.
Yeah, you know, we're seeing the shield up now, the recouping from that kind of immediate damage pull, about half HP just completely lost there on a single shot. But as they get, you know, like you're saying about the aggression, a big thing in this game particularly is how you respond to that aggression. With the Oni mask being so transparent to both parties, both the attacking and defending, you know, it is all about what the defending and the attacking player respond with as well. That's why I'm so impressed with Baka using that Oni mask to be so aggressive, because you're seeing how he is not waiting a single second. He knows exactly what he's going to do as soon as that Oni mask lands.
There you go. And being able to know exactly where it lands as well, because we've seen, as I said, a lot of competitors not knowing where it's going, and that costs them their entire round sometimes when they toss it across a mountain, don't realize that they're 100 feet up in the air, and then they get eliminated. So we've actually seen a lot of improvement from those teleports than what we once did. And even like Nick said, we haven't seen it a lot where you're able to just place one down and then teleport back once you're in a bad spot at all, really. We're really seeing it for more mobility purposes rather than saying, hey, here's a Tracer E, let's just go right back and try it again and try something different. I would really like to see if one of these competitors could pull something like that off, but Night Blaster going to be lurking in the night in general, trying to find their next victim. Baka only with one elimination in the round right now, and that's one of our top players here at the arena. Truly playing it safe for this first round so far. Might just be opting to go for that whole victory royale, 25 points, but we'll see what happens. They're going to be able to scope out some of these other competitors, but we're right here with the Thag roll. Gonna try and do what they can in this situation as they are looking low, but opts to teleport. Oh, it takes a little bit of fall damage, but has what they need, but runs right back into Unger. Look at that, talking about the read of the teleport. That's what we love to see when these competitors realize where these other people who are trying to run away go. Thagrel is gonna go down to Unger. They're able to break through those walls and grab another elimination.
I mean, again, that pressure from Unger is
crazy.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Levi Bear going for the classic, popping open the edit, scope around. And one cool thing that they did add, which I think will help a lot of competitors here, is simple edit, where now you don't have to do the exact right edit to create a window, to do this and to do that. You'll be able to at least have a little bit of an easier time doing your edits when you're in these builds for some of these competitors who are not too confident there, but has the accuracy to win these fights.
I've noticed a little bit of that. You know, with this nice triangle we have here on the mini-map, a lot of these players are playing pretty defensively with their builds, and they're immediately rebuilding with like what you're saying, those easy edits. It's interesting how, you know, just a small adjustment to how you edit in this game can make such a massive impact in the meta game.
I think so.
And kind of the micro of making sure, you know, you're not giving up too much. You can see here that they're, you know, lifting up a build, but they're not completing the build so that they can actually see through the textures and map out kind of where everybody's, you know, parked up right now.
What actually blew my mind as we get into this next section, 17 players left, was that in like Warzone, they amp up the saturation so that you can see people. So it's kind of similar when you're talking about the textures and how much it impacts what you can see and what you can't see. Is like you're seeing with Cyclones right now, trying to put out some damage to another player's mats. Is what we're seeing is just a little bit more strategies of being able to head peek, kind of find out who's around you and figure out what you should do next. The Cyclones and Night Blaster are going to go back to back, but once again, a third party from the sky going to be the one to try and intercept and try and grab an easy elimination.
Absolutely. So, you know, inform me a little bit as a slightly uneducated Fortnite player. when they're doing this shooting the walls and they're repairing it, they're spending mats to maintain their position for the zone rotation, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because sometimes you have the advantage. Like right now, you're seeing Night Blaster. They have to go in the circle and confront Cyclones, basically. They don't really have a way to get around this situation, especially when you have those Sky Islands. What's cool about those is that you have the absolute epic boss up there that allows you to grab an ability that allows you to go invisible for like a half a second. So when you're dealing with that, they have a super advantage with the high ground. And now you're seeing Night Blaster just having to opt to go in and try and break down these builds and fight Cyclones and try and win potentially an unwinnable battle, in my opinion, because they're still not opting to take some time, maybe pop those small shields before you go into this fight.
Sort of an underdog situation here,
1000%.
if you will.
Night Blaster still trying to shred these walls and really going into the late game. I don't know how it works doing this fight is Cyclones just barely wins it by an inch. Their health bar was almost entirely gone. And even trade, no, Cyclones was able to survive just by the skin of their chinny chin. But my goodness, what a close build battle fight that was. I really thought Night Blaster was just going to get blasted away.
Yeah, me too, man. That was a really close one there with that missed shot at the end. But he brought it back. Now he's at full mats. He's got a great rotation for the rest of the game. But we're looking at Burr here walking up. He's seeing something here.
Oh, wow.
He's going to dump in. He burns the shields, going for the aggressive Oni teleport, immediately going for the build on him. 50 cal 18. Looks like he knows that this is happening. He's looking for his pivot here through the zone. But both parties have to cross a large lake here. But Bird just goes for it. He says, I'm going to drop this kill. I'm just going to make the rotation and try to go for the positioning. And like we said, once you get those early kills, if you have one or two, just play, concisely. Play for that placement here. But he finds himself immediately back into another fight.
Yeah, backed into a corner indeed, having to go through mats after mats after mats. And so goes their shields and heals. They are just trying to build whatever they can. Throws down one of the sprites. They're trying to survive, but they can't. The sprite's going to be on level 2 as he's going to go back to the lobby level as Baka going to be able to just shred Pinch as their teleport just did not put them in the spot that they wanted to be.
That was unfortunate to see. Baka, or was that Unger?
Yeah, that was Baka who was able
Baka
to win that one. Unger was right behind him, though,
okay,
ready for it.
Got a little bit of distortion there.
Exactly, and that's the fun part. And what we've been seeing in this first round is literally this third party coming out nonstop. And you're seeing it right now, even Levi Bear trying to break down these walls and get through. Whenever you're fighting one person, you got to assume there's another person just waiting to steal these eliminations.
Absolutely, and we've been seeing a lot of that, like you're saying, for this exact tournament. It's been a lot of, wait for the exact right time, because everyone's playing so concise. When they find these opportunistic, moments in time, they're absolutely taking them. You can see people, you think someone else is going to get the kill points, and then a different name shows up because everyone is waiting in the wings for their opportunity.
And with how low scoring this round is, it's quite interesting to see that most competitors, even the top ones, are waiting for their time to shine, but they're able to grab that one out of the teleport. I think they threw the Oni teleport in the storm, and they were at 1 HP, and that cost them this round so far. That is crazy to think about. And now going down the line, we're at 11th and 12th place. That's going to be 10 points for all of these competitors. Wow. So now you really got to start thinking and start going for elimination, because this might be the closest Friday Frags we will have in a minute with how conservative these players are playing. Like you said, they are going for the exact right moment to try and make their name known.
Yeah, it's been a good mix. We've seen a lot of aggressive plays, with placements being this great for your scoring. We're still seeing, massive amounts of aggression. We're finding ourselves ending on this, movable zone here on a mountaintop.
That is always fun.
Kind of adjacent to what we were talking about, again, in the beginning for another callback to these Oni mass teleports. We'll see if anybody, falls here to fall damage.
Or into the storm, which now with this storm being the 7th storm, you're going to be dealing with that 5-tick, and that's not going to be a great time at all. If you overshoot that teleport, you have to know exactly where you want to go, because if you don't, it's going to be a rough battle. And with a lot of these competitors, they haven't really got into a lot of fights yet, so they're able to conserve their mats, like we're seeing with Quantai time, maybe? Is that what that is, actually?
Your guess is much better than mine.
I was like, or Quantai, maybe?
I think it's Quantize, yeah.
All right.
I'll go with that.
All right. Quan Pi ties is actually, I think that would be kind of crazy, or Quan 3.14 ties, maybe. I don't know. They're going to get dropped, though, down the mountain, and whoever's on the mountain has that advantage is going to be in a pretty good spot for right now. But with 50 seconds remaining, one competitor has zone advantage, but Ben L Gaming might not be gaming for that much longer. They're going to get stuck in the storm into this build, and that's just going to be a free elimination for Unger. 4 for them for this round.
Unger, rubbing his hands together. He's just plotting here with the highest position on the map right now for this moving zone, and this is certainly an advantageous position he finds himself in. But 50 cal finds himself in not a fortuitous position as he rotates here. He's got a decent amount of mats to get him to the safe zone here. I think what's in the books for him is that he's hoping that the priority is not on his rotation into the zone, but everyone knows it. We find a massive four-way fight here.
Oh my gosh. 50 count, going to be able to take some time, pop this big shield. 9 competitors left going into the 9th storm of this round. What are they going to do? Everyone's just layered on top of each other. I said it, 2, 3.
3 Oni masks.
Whoa, going to go all the way across the map, trying to get as much of a zone advantage as you can. Unger just waiting for this competitor to teleport in as they are able to shred the base of this competitor who's going to be Baka right across the way. Unger really has a great loadout as well, as you can see with their equipment. We're going to see Loco takes walls, going for the Oni teleport once again, slams their head right into a wall, and now builds their own situation up right now. 50 cal going to go all the way to the side. All of these 50 cal competitors just right beside one another. They're not even a clan. They just like playing together in Fortnite, which is always great to see, but Cyclone's going for the teleport, gets eliminated. We're gonna have Baka with 5, maybe 6 as Fruit, trying to not get spoiled. Gets shot to the side, and Unger goes for the high ground teleport and trying to drop right down. Baka gonna be able to have some small shields, popping those bad boys. Quantize goes down to 50 cal 18, and now Baka on an extremely defensive route. They're trying to survive as this storm is going to be moving and schmoving very soon.
I mean, these brothers are getting aggressive on each other. We saw a beautiful rotation from Unger earlier, but Baka said, let me get a little bit of that too. Takes the Oni mask, and they're both holding the highest positions on the map. And again, in this context, you want the highest spot if you have the mats to maintain it. Both those players absolutely do from the amount of kills they got in the early game, and you can see he's going to keep pressing his height advantage here. Everywhere he's teleporting, high ground, high ground. And every time that he does that, Baka is right on his tail, making sure, hey man, if you're going to have that high ground, we're going to have to share it.
Oh, and now a few competitors running into each other in these mats. Loco takes walls, grabbing one. Zafu going down. Baka going to be able to grab that onto another 50 cal competitor. Hunter trying to teleport out. 1v1 situation. We got Unger versus Baka for the first round. Let's see what they're going to be able to do. Teleports in, opens up the window. Baka is looking extremely low, going around the side. The storm is right on their tail. They're going to have to just go around and find the best spot possible. But Unger is in that high ground spot, which allows him to win the first round of the day. Great work there with 6 eliminations as well.
Excellent, excellent match there. That was awesome to watch. Unfortunately, you know, the 2 players that win their duos matches in our last tournament had to take each other out. It reminds me of Episode 3 Star Wars, Duel of the Fates, the Obi-Wan versus the Anakin.
That is actually great. The Baka became the Anakin. I'm just saying. Unger, fortunately enough, was able to find that high ground. Like you said, any given moment, he was lurking and finding the side of the mountain to teleport to so that he was able to build up and keep that advantage, because when you're aiming up, you just don't have the field of view that someone does when they're looking down at you. And when you're battling that uphill battle, quite literally, you're going to be in a bad spot.
And you could see every time he took those teleports, he'd pop a 180 and see 5 players unprotected. Yep. I mean, nobody was calculating that guy getting the high ground in the positions that he did so consecutively.
And that's, like, you say that no one was expecting it, but I feel like that's a thing that we see consistently, and I'm shocked that we don't have more competitors contesting that high ground battle with these final circles and trying to say, hey, Unger, I see what you're trying to do, trying to build up, but let me do that same exact thing and already go after that. But instead, we have 5 competitors on ground level of the mountain trying to duke it out in these builds, panicking, not knowing where to go. And at the end of the day, you're just going to allow Unger to take it away with that 6 eliminations. But still, not that many.
Yeah.
But we're going to see a little bit of an advantage for Unger in this next round.
Absolutely. And I think for most players, too, I think we'll see a lot more high ground contestant, too.
There you go. We do not have the scoring just yet, but if you do want to know what the payment's going to look like, top 10 gets paid out today with 35 competitors here right now. I think this is going to be an extremely competitive battle for those top 10 spots. A lot of talented competitors trying to find their eliminations here or there, going for that third party. But going into the second round, if you don't have a good first round, what are you really aiming for? Are you going for placements, or are you trying to catch back up with eliminations? What are you personally going for?
For me, and this scoring and the way that this event is being run, I'm going for placement 100% start to finish. But commentating this event, I love seeing the aggression. I think that everyone can say that. We love seeing the aggression. Although it may not be the most logical decision in most situations, it actually is. You know, there's a lot of benefit in being aggressive in Fortnite because you get the building materials, you get the shields, you get the upgraded guns, you get the Oni mask, and if you don't go for those early kills and you don't find those items organically, how else are you going to procure them, right?
1000%. And I feel like the fun thing about this whole season, I feel like the item balancing is actually pretty nice because as a zero build Andy myself, I get to experience what these bullets really do in this game. And with these Sentinel assault rifles, and we're not really seeing the Frenzy being used that much, but with these Sentinel assault rifles that everyone's been using, I feel like the trades have been a lot more interesting to watch. You're not just getting shredded in terms of getting shot 2 times and then you have to retreat, right?
Yeah.
With these assault rifles that they have right now, and what everyone's prioritizing with those holographic scopes is that these fights are very equally traded once you're going for these little peaks, which I appreciate a lot. And especially the more I played this season, I mean, I have really understood that when you immediately get shot at, don't feel like you immediately lose that battle because these guns are actually kind of even if someone's got that purple, once you get to that gold, then it starts doing a lot of damage and chucking you away. But with these different Sentinel assault rifles, you're going to be seeing that these trades are not immediately going to eliminate you. I like the back and forth. I like a longer time to eliminate rather than anything. I don't know about yourself if you like those quick Valorant 0.5, you're done and your health bar is gone. But I do appreciate that Fortnite really slowed it down with the assault rifles and that boom, boom, you're not just immediately gone with these shots.
I think in the beginning it was cool to see the double snipes and, you know, things like that. But I like your point. You know, I do think these more methodical approaches, and like we saw earlier, we had a double holographic interaction in that build, and they almost lost. You know what I mean? The player that was ahead in damage, you know, missed almost 2 shots.
Exactly.
And that was almost too many to miss.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's so much fun to watch how these assault rifles, especially they have the same ones, interacting with one another and how that's going to change how confident someone is with their aim. Because you got to land a lot more shots to eliminate someone, but if you miss 1 or 2 and they don't miss 1 or 2, they're going to win that exchange. So I actually do appreciate the longer time to eliminate more than anything because I just, especially like, man, I mean, going back to like even Call of Duty, you know, I'm like, holy cannoli, I'm going down in 0.5 seconds, don't know what went wrong, and trying to figure out how I can get better in that aspect. But I like those trades, those longer exchanges with gunfights than anything. I don't know if you're in the same ballpark or realm, or do you like these more quick, snappy eliminations?
I think it depends on the title for me, but for Fortnite, I do like the slower time to kill. I think it does work a little bit better with the formula, especially with builds included. You know, you're thinking about your spacing, your rotations, but then there's the aim component, and when you can just shoot 1 shot and take somebody's entire shield away. Granted, that takes aim to hit that shot, but as consecutively as the assault rifle being the meta right now, that's where it showcases, I think, a little bit more of that individual prowess in the title.
I 1000% agree with you there. And even when it comes to like the Sentinel shotgun, the Oni shotgun, I actually have been digging a lot with the Oni shotgun as a double pump, so it's pretty fun. You just got 2 shots. It's like the Olympia from Black Ops, basically. That is basically where you're aiming there. I mean, a lot of people opting for the Sentinel because it has a way faster rate of fire. So I like that we're seeing that, not really seeing the full auto because it really doesn't chunk away and you're seeing those moments. Really the most amount of damage is either from far away or when you get up close, build a window, put out some damage, then you're able to win that exchange. But now with those different 2 shotguns, the Oni shotgun and the Sentinel shotgun, I really want to see some of these competitors feel a little bit more confident with that Oni shotgun because I feel like it will chunk a lot more than the Sentinel. But I could be wrong. But I really do enjoy me an Olympia every now and then. That was my go-to, especially in zombies. That was one of my favorites.
I mean, I think you know, every time I think about shotguns in Fortnite, I think about the double pump era, and I think about just how quick that time to kill was.
That's what I'm saying. That's like that's where we're at in terms of balancing the guns. It's either double pump era or less than that.
Right.
Or I guess more than that, you know?
And I think it's pretty tame, you know, at least right now with the time to kill. If you have a shotgun and you're in someone's build, you should be able to have a short time to kill. But if you got an AR and you're that close, unless you're hitting every single shot, the time to kill should take some time.
Yeah. And that's something I've really enjoyed, especially, you know, playing zero builds. There is times where I get caught off guard, but I'm able to turn and win those fights because that person starts missing. You're able to do AD, move back and forth, kind of jiggle a little bit, and be able to win these exchanges because these assault rifles aren't just eliminating you in one shot. You know?
Right.
It's a very interesting dynamic that they've gone towards. I mean, like I said, the Fury assault rifle, we didn't see like really even one person with it today. The holographic sight being on that Sentinel is what's really selling it for a lot of people, and it's really what makes it different from the rest of the guns in the game right now. I mean, not having the equipment to put a holographic sight on it anymore like the previous seasons is what's changing it up and really having people rely on that, aiming down the sights and able to land a lot of these shots. But going into the second round, when you go for placements, especially in a game mode like this, where you have some competitors who are going to be lurking around, how do you play for placement, though? Because I'm always like, I'm trying to go in immediately in the beginning, try and get them when they got no shields, heals, or otherwise, and try and win that exchange. How do you go for placement?
For me, it's all about the rotations. I'm thinking about exactly how I'm coming into the zone. It's not a fear that I will make it or not make it. It's that if you choose the right route in, that can be often the decider for a large amount of placements, or placement points, I should say.
1,000%. I totally agree with you there as well. I mean, we're going to have those scores ready for you from that first round, but it's actually not that big of a lead. We don't know how to do math up here. That's why we got people in the back doing it for us. Unger is up by a single point against Baka. In first place with 31, Baka in second with 30, Zafu in third with 22, Hunt Dog tying there in third right now, and then we got Loco Takes Walls with 20 points in fifth place, Tiny in sixth with 17, Fruit in seventh with 15, the Big Gouda in 8th with 14 points. And then tying there is Cyclones as well with Quantize in 10th. Levi Bear right behind him, just barely out of the money. But like we said, top 10 getting paid out tonight, or today, as we are getting into the second round. There's still so many points on the board, and especially like if you're Zafu, Hunt Dog, Loco, Tiny Fruit, this first round shouldn't matter that much more than anything else. Really, because like you said, if you're going for placements, 25 points is the victory royale, and if you take down Unger or Baka early, that changes the entire leaderboard.
Absolutely, and especially even was that Zafu on the close third? It just skipped my mind. But if it was Zafu on the close third, that's also somebody to consider that if you run into, maybe it's better to play for that placement, because Zafu had a great placement earning on that match there.
There you go. I mean, it just like you said, plan out your routes. Don't run into a lot of competitors. If you see gunfire, maybe go for that third party, but don't feel like you have to commit to anything, especially with how we have this scoring breakdown and how Oliver has created a very fun looking final tournament here, with 23 points for second, 21 for third, fourth being 19, fifth being 17, and sixth being 15. Like, that's a lot of points to skyrocket you up this leaderboard, especially if you're able to take down Unger and Baka, who are currently in control of this leaderboard. But we are starting out round 2 of Friday Frags. We are looking at the beautiful scenery here on this new season. I think it's probably one of the most beautiful ones we've had in a minute.
Absolutely. We see, Bach dropping, getting the gun off the rip. This is great, getting his mats up. Kind of the bread and butter start to most of these matches. Get your resources, get your weapons, get your Oni mask, most importantly, for your late game rotations and your ability to do so.
And then our favorite competitor, black screen there, going to be able to bring us over to Levi Bear. Going to be blown their way to the outskirts, and I always say you should try and land in these name locations, because right now, for this being the biggest Winter Series event and so much on the line. There is no reason you shouldn't feel confident enough to go and drop in these locations where you're going to have to fight 1 or 2 people and try and win those fights. Go big or go home is my mentality. I know we said playing for placements is all right, but when you don't have as many eliminations as you need to work your way up the leaderboard, 1 or 2, like you're seeing already, might be the difference of getting in the money and losing money today.
Absolutely, that was a big early kill there. You know, again, the early points, it is 1 point per elimination in this game, but that placement on top of those that might be enough to send you over the edge. Getting a better placement here, but Loco takes walls. Looks like he's in a fight with Dangles there.
Way.
Oh, he's got a tree inside of his build here, so he can't actually build to pursue. And again, we're seeing a little bit of what we saw last game with that confrontation sparks up, but immediately going in the opposite direction. They're thinking placements. Everyone's thinking placements. They're dropping in named areas. They're going big, and they're going home.
Loco on life support was going to have to take out a loan for their ambulance, but Dangles opts to run away from the easy victory. Literally was backed against a wall with nowhere to leave, and Dangles says, all right, see you later.
I can't blame him. I can't blame him, Pidgey.
It gave me vibes of SpongeBob where it's like Plankton, all right, now assert yourself. I don't know what went wrong there, but we're right back at it. Loco takes walls, runs right into another competitor, going to have to pop some bandages to at least give them a little bit of leeway. We got a very full loadout of many different weapons there. You got that Sentinel, you got that Assault, AK Assault, but we're going to be seeing Diego's 8-year-old going to drop down, run into a wall. We got the Silver Surfer loadout. Gotta love it. They're going to be able to jump up these and eliminate. Loco takes walls. They are going down. Loco's such a great competitor, finding themselves out super early.
Yeah, Diego, that was a great play. You know, he acted like the Silver Surfer there and surfed on that roof all the way to the elimination.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. Whenever I don't see those superhero skins, you know, I'm biased. I'm sorry. There's, what, like 1,000 collaborations in Fortnite? Show me something good. But you know what? We got the Christmas skin. It's a little bit past the season, but it's fine. Uh-oh. Oh, going to be able to turn around, but we'll see who's going to be able to win this one. Leviathan losing a lot of shields on that exchange. Will they be able to turn around and win it? They're going to be able to just blind fire in the bush and grab an elimination. Ben L Gaming had no shields, so they were already going into this fight at a disadvantage.
I mean, the intuition there from Leviathan to say, I don't need to see the target. I know that there's nowhere else to go inside of this build that he just walked under, and just takes 2 blind shots into the bush and picks him up an early elimination. And again, look at the mats that we have here. He's got full up on 500, 500, you know, 464. He's ready for the end game as of right now.
I totally agree with you. And honestly, when you have this many mats, I would honestly, especially going into, it's still early game, you should try and find and see where these shots are coming from and go for it, right? You have so many mats at your disposal that it shouldn't be that much of a difficult move to try and get them back once you want to use them, especially still being in this early game at 29 players left. I say don't be afraid, especially on this main event for this winter series. You really want to show up and show off.
Absolutely. We got 6 players down so far in the lobby. 29 out of 35 contestants remain inside this match. We got eyes on Leviathan here. He does see another player across the way, just building up, being slightly defensive, taking some pot shots, trying to spend his resources as well. Again, like we talked about last game, this is all about once you find a good spot in the rotation and you found your route, you want to maintain until you absolutely must rotate. What we see here, the Storm's going to shrink in a minute and 30 seconds, and they're going to make their rotations now while they have the advantage of time.
Oh, already going into another fight. We got the Ice King. Will he be able to be cold with it? No, going to opt to run away from this exchange. Like we said, this is the main event for the trophy on the stage. Really going away from these exchanges and these eliminations might be the game-changing difference, and at the end of the day, after 5 rounds, might be the point difference that keeps you either in the money or out of the money. So if you see yourself against some of these competitors that aren't really using their mats as they normally would, feel confident going into those fights and saying, hey, I want to grab an elimination here, try and work my way up the leaderboard and get more money in the bank. 50 cal 18 hugs up a little bit of a big shield.
We've seen 2 Oni masks here on the last player and 50 cal 18. Again, just getting all their mats, getting ready for this rotation. Once you have that Oni mask, that's about 50% of what you're looking for out of all these boxes. Or even that ninja sword that we were seeing. There's a great method of rotating that isn't as committal as the mask is, because you can take a lot shorter dashes and stop in between each dash, and you're not just sending it all the way to your destination. You do have a lot more agency in making a lot more concise adjustments to your positioning.
1000%. Right now we do see 50 cal 18 kind of getting closed in on by a couple different competitors, but is able to pop that teleport, but takes a ton of damage. They are trying to pop some builds so that they get a little bit of time to restore some of these lost shields. They're going to be able to find those and put themselves back up to top speed. But unfortunately, that was just not the fight they were looking for right now, especially with this hollow assault rifle. They are going to have to build their way up and try and maneuver themselves, put themselves in a better spot, because unfortunately that exchange is just not exactly what you want to happen.
Right, and we're seeing a great, again, we talked about spacing, we talked about placement, we talked about rotation. We're seeing a whole lot more of that this second round here.
Absolutely. Oh, but we got Copy going for one of the bosses, trying to grab that legendary Oni mask for those 50 teleports. And truly, I feel like 13, or even like you get 15 with the mask, is more than enough to get you through this game.
Oh,
you don't really see a lot of competitors that are going to use 50 teleports. So I get wanting to grab the golden hollow potentially, and do a little bit more damage, but I feel like if you grab an Oni mask, even for myself, there's rarely a situation where I feel like I'm using 15 of those teleports. So you have more than enough. If there was 10, I would say, all right, go for the 50. But I really don't see a lot of these competitors opting to use all 15 teleports before they get eliminated.
Absolutely. I didn't look at the last counts of the game before, but we'll look in this game to see how many teleports remain on most of the Oni masks, because I am a little bit curious. How much utilization is that actually getting down to the count number? If you're playing super aggressive, I imagine you're spending your Oni masks charges a lot more frequently than somebody that is just going for positioning. But 15, like you're saying, for positioning should be a perfectly ripe amount.
I totally agree. I agree as well. I think that's a fair assessment to say, hey, maybe these competitors who are being more aggressive, like 50 cal Snips, going to get eliminated by Baka there, just clean shot with that Sentinel shotgun, and they are able to just grab their first elimination of this round. And like we were saying, it had 14 teleports to their name on that first fight of the day for themselves. And didn't even opt to use one of them. So it really goes to show, even if you're being that aggressive, like in a tournament like this, you're maybe finding yourself into 2 to 3 fights per round.
Yeah.
So having 15 teleports, 5 teleports per fight, I don't think really needing that 50 teleport, golden Oni mask is the most necessary thing to grab, more or less for the hollow assault, golden hollow assault rifle. But that's the only thing I can really see going for that boss for.
Absolutely, and we didn't see it up on the observing here, but we did have a Baka pick up a kill. We're down to 23 out of 35 competitors for this last game, and we're seeing Unger FN get really aggressive here. Looks like he's trying to get into Knight's box here, and he finds a window, breaks a huge amount of the shields, and he's just trying to build his way out of this, but he cannot. He's going to pick up the kill on the Night Blaster, and that's going to make it 22 players remaining in the lobby. 2 kills for Unger, and full mats.
That is so sad. We saw Night Blaster last round. That exchange between those 2 competitors, and now Unger going right back to it. Popping the Oni mask, going to be able to close that gap, trying to break out and drop down from the high ground, control these walls as well. When they're breaking these walls, they're going to try and place their own walls so that they're able to make these builds and these edits to pop these windows and find opportunities to put out a lot more damage. We'll see if they're going for the juke. They are not. They are going for the juke, as they are going to be able to just run around the build a little bit, then teleport out. Unger, though, going to be able to chase them down.
Did he just use that Oni mask to bait his builds out?
Exactly.
Is that what just happened there? That
exactly. That's what I've been loving to see. Having someone even use a little bit more resources than normal and then just teleport out and say, hey, I'm out of here. I can pop another one momentarily and do what I need to to try and survive a little bit longer. But that's what I love about these masks, as Copy going to find themselves getting shot in the back, pops the teleport into the storm, trying to just survive as long as possible. They are going down in the storm. Their health bar still full, but for how much longer?
Oh, they're getting pressured here from Unger. Unger's looking for it this game. He is not taking no for an answer. He said, I don't know about non-aggression, not positioning. He picks up a third frag onto INF Copy there, making it 20 out of 35 players remaining for this match of Friday Frags.
And we're going to be going over to 50 cal 18, going to be able to pop up some walls, trying their best to put themselves in a spot to put out at least a little bit of damage. But like, you know, I always hate those moments as well when you have that competitor where you think that you're about to survive and then you run away as fast as you can and then that same competitor's still chasing you. Yeah. It reminds me of that one meme. What does that mean? What does that mean? Where it's like, it's not stop running. Why are you? It's not why are you running, but it was another one. I'm trying to think about it.
I wish I knew it off the top of my head.
But it's driving me crazy. But yeah, no, it's just a really unfortunate situation for Copy, who had the right idea by teleporting into the storm and saying, hey, maybe I'm safe here, but at a one tick, none of these top competitors are going to be scared to teleport themselves in the storm and risk it for that extra point. Because like I said, that extra point will be the difference between going home with one of these beautiful HyperX Arena trophies and going home with a little bit less money.
Absolutely. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the INF Copy play with the Oni mask, he was trying to throw it out into the ocean to juke out whoever was pursuing him in hopes that it might send him off the trail. But unfortunately, Unger was looking to close out that frag there and get him an extra point on the scoreboard. We're seeing 50 cal 18 here, just getting some mats on the side. Again, staying on a very safe rotation here, finding all the resources that he needs. Bolt's in a very close proximity situation with the 50 cal fruit here. Again, both watching each other through the builds, just making sure, you know, we've got the positioning for the rotation for the zone. We're on the mountain, but, you know, not everybody has a current Oni mask and is utilizing that.
Let's see what Bolts can do, trying to just off. And like we said, and like we've been saying, this low ground Anakin Skywalker, Duel of the Fates kind of fight is not where you're going to find a winning elimination, just because the high ground just gives you such a better field of view. You're able to analyze what's around you. You have way better, let's just say, groundwork to work with, even when you're able to just build out and around from your base and really work your way out and win these fights. A lot better than someone who's trying to climb up the mountain a piece at a time, and this person's already above you, seeing exactly what you're about to do.
You know, if you've got a blueprint, and in this analogy, it's a blueprint to win the game, you start from the top down. you're looking from the top all the way down into the schematics, and then as it goes up in floors, you know, you add the complexity and you go horizontal, and that's a lot of what's going on here. They're jumping.
Is that
up.
Also like a reference to like the leaderboard? Also, you're like starting at the top, potentially looking down, and then maybe you'll be going down those point totals too. I don't know. You were on fire with that reference though. I like that one. Whoa! We're gonna be seeing already some of the high-ground competitors. This is the field of view of what I'm saying. Rain City Pro is already in a great spot, but opts to jump down the mountain, which is going to allow Unger to grab the high ground and have a huge advantage. Rain City Pro, what are you doing? I'm going to have to ask a lot of those questions when you're done with this round, because it has been a really disastrous showing there. That is brutal.
I think Unger might be challenging our sentiment about how the second round was going to go. We anticipated a lot more lack of aggression, and we're seeing the antithesis of that statement here out of Unger's play.
I love Unger's motivation, his drive right now, because what other competitor is doing it right now? Who else has 5 eliminations? No one else in this lobby has 5 eliminations. Granted, going for these eliminations, high risk, high reward, you're going to find yourself potentially losing this round early, but they are so on point right now. They want to go home with that first place prize money and this trophy, so I love seeing what they're doing right now.
Me too, and Quanti's got an interesting position here. So we're going to watch Unger. He's going to go for an Oni mask play again. He's just making these super aggro plays, but he gets his shields popped here. He's going to have to regen before he chooses to take another fight, but Quantize isn't going to let him get a second here. Pushing super aggressive, breaking these builds, trying to get his builds in. Unger What is the plan to get yourself out of this one? TPing into the water here is a little bit of dicey situation, as if he loses his builds, he's going to have to crawl his way back to get his wall as priority here. And we are playing all on the same, ping network, so these builds, it's all about reaction time as far as how quickly you can place them onto the server, and what registers first is about who gets the build onto the terrain first. But Unger is just finding all this space, regardless of the circumstances here. It is a man with a dream to get what looks like 10 frags before this tournament ends. Quantai is going to take his space away and get up to that high ground here as he rotates. 16 out of 35 players remaining. Zone shrinks in 40 seconds here. Zafu having a nice positioning, sort of center zone here. Calculating all the rotations from everybody. Levi finding a close fight. Oh, and Baka off the observation is picking up a kill onto Ice King, making this 15 players remaining. As we watch Zafu here, he's just making sure that there's good rotations, but Baka finds himself in another fight. 50% shields taken down, and we're seeing Luki Bear getting really aggressive onto Baka, but Baka finds a nice shot. 20% HP left, and Baka is going to find that elimination. 4 eliminations. Again, his duo being at 5, it truly is them in a singles bracket is seeing the Anakin Obi-Wan, in a different storyline here where they had to, operate as individuals. It's so interesting to see. And Unger, again, was on the ocean side, now crawling his way up this mountain, getting that real estate back to try to just get up to that high ground like we saw at the end of last match. Some players behind straggling away, but we got Baka picking up another kill into Bolts here. 12 players remaining. We've lost 3 players since the last time I called that out. The rate of eliminations is definitely picking up as the zone gets less and less forgiving. Got 4 players mountainside here. Unger looking for anything, watching this Oni TP to make sure nobody's duping him out or going to come up behind him. He just keeps taking these safe rotations. He's just playing it so methodically. Again, what Pidgey and I were referring to earlier is that method of rotation. It's not about just getting into the circle. It's all about how you get into that circle to make sure you're not taking that storm damage. Dangle's having a nice setup here, nice spread. I think he spots 50 cal 18 and a few other players in his immediate proximity. 50 cal 18 taking some pot shots, just trying to make sure that he, hey, I'm over here. If you want to, maintain this space adjacent to me, you're going to have to spend some mats to do it. And Dangle said, I'm okay. I'm just going to use this Oni mask. I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to get to the next location. Dangle's first one in the zone, having a nice positioning pinch just on the outside. I'm watching as people come in. He might find himself a fight here. And he finds a nice 80% shield takeaway from Zafu as he gets aggressive here, knowing that he has the advantage state. Oh, but he's getting third-partied. He's also knocked down. 70% shields taken away, puts his builds up. He's like, okay, just playing for placement. That's what we're thinking here. We're 12 players left, and as these players, decrease in this lobby, the points that you get are more. But Quantize is taken out by Unger, who is now on his 7th elimination.
Oh my gosh, 7 eliminations already. Last time we saw him with those 5, gonna be able to teleport in, going for more. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of competitors right now having that zone advantage. Baka grabbing one on through. Really great work so far. We'll see what happens next.
It looks like Baka and Unger
oh.
are going for a kill race.
They really are. Remember, they were only 1 point away on the leaderboard. They're 1 point away in this round. We currently got Unger right now, going to be able to pop over the window. 50 cal Hunter is able to win the 1v1. Unger is down for the count at 9 players left. That's what I'm talking about. The hollow assault rifle coming in clutch with that legendary, I just said, mythic assault rifle, putting out the damage. One shot was the difference of potentially changing your standing, and Hunter brought it there. 2 eliminations for this round.
It was excellent to see that. And again, that one bullet miss from Unger costed him his placement.
Believe it.
All game we've been seeing hyper aggression, but just getting better placement will outweigh what the scoring will be benefit-wise of those 7 kills. Better placement is better than 7 eliminations.
I think so as well. I mean, like we said, you know what? 7 eliminations are going to be able to help you work your way up the leaderboard. And when we think about the point total, that's already a 21st placement for next round, technically, if you have 7 eliminations. But still, like we're saying, with this tournament layout, what we're seeing is that placements are going to be so much more impactful than ever before in this Friday Frags. But Dangle's now trying to just dangle some keys right in front of the competitors, try and get them to grab them, trying to get their attention just a little bit so that they're able to grab some eliminations. With 7 competitors left in this lobby, who's going to be able to take it all is what we're waiting to see, but Dangle's not being able to see any other competitor. They're hanging on and they're hanging out. They got the 11 more teleports to their name on their only match. Baka grabbing an elimination on the 50 cal 18, bringing us down to a top 6 situation. Thagral going to now be the one to be targeted. That's the invisibility I was talking about. It's only for like half a second, but it is very disorienting when you're trying to deal with someone in a close combat situation.
And this last zone is all that. It's very close proximity interactions, and we're seeing a nice invisibility coming out here from Baka. And dude, the rotations from these players have been excellent in this game. These last remaining 6, you know, Baka has been playing extremely aggressive, and you know, to be at 8 eliminations in top 6, this is going to be a big game if he can take the first place.
I was about to ask, you know what? I wonder where Unger's at now, but he's gone. The thought came in my mind when you brought up Baka's eliminations. I'm like, you know what? I wonder where that tying is at, but that's just going to, Baka's going to take over first. That's without a doubt right now. So that's going to be kind of an interesting back and forth battle to see how Unger's going to be able to bounce back from this. But with the competitors currently in the lobby, Levi Bear, who had a pretty rough showing last round, still trying to work their way up in the placements, got 1 elimination to their name. And like we said, that's really all you need. But what Zafu needs is to get out of the storm, drops down, and is able to find themselves on the absolute border of this storm, as they're going to be able to pop down one of these sprites and get their shields and heals back up.
This is great positioning from Zafu again, making his way into like center circle, if not where the circle was going to go next, always. And he's using these high tier mats to make sure that, you know, his builds aren't extremely breakable. He's playing extremely defensive, and this is what you want to see in this kind of environment.
I totally agree with you. And really, when you see these high, you know what, these high resource mats going down piece by piece, as 50 cal Hunter taking down 50 cal Dangles, you are now resource draining so much more, but you have to be able to create something to stop others from coming in your way, as Labaka James gonna take down Thagral, bringing us to a top 4 situation. Zafu once again getting damage in the storm, but is able to get out pretty fast. Baka just cleaning out house right now. Is anyone going to be able to stop him? Taking down Levi Bear next. Top 3 situation. Zafu trying to find a way out and find a way to stop in the one, the only LeBron James of Fortnite. 10 eliminations to their name. Zafu going to get shredded. And they're going to go down. 1v1 situation. LeBron James versus Hunter. They're going to be able to drop down, work their way up, still have that high ground, go around these corners, still has that invisibility, so Hunter got to be aware of that. They're going to get shot from above. LeBron James has so much shields and health. They're going to have to pop into the storm, popping around, tries to land a shot with the shotgun, but misses it by a half a mile. Hunter trying to survive as best as they can against Baka's aggression, and they're doing a great job so far. And that will call it. Baka drops right down the corner. 12 eliminations for this round in round 2.
Double digits on Baka. That was a exemplifying performance there. That was incredible from both the Unger and the Baka crew there, you know, both being individuals. Unger was playing that early game aggression. Baka was playing that late game aggression, and we saw just how beneficial that was for his standing there.
It really, really was. And you're now realizing how important the high ground is. Like, every single person who's won a Victory Royale so far has gone for the high ground fights. They might drop themselves down to give themselves a better angle, but for the most part, they're sticking up on that 10th floor saying, hey, how you guys doing down there? Dropped 5 eliminations and 4 eliminations in a matter of that final top 6, which is crazy because they were just hanging out on the top floor saying, hey, you know what? You didn't pay extra for the VIP suite? Sorry, I'm the one going home with
view's
the prize.
Great. The view's great above here.
It really is. Hey, boom, 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 boom. Grabbing eliminations and racking it up the leaderboard very easily. Crazy work for this whole event so far, and Baka just taking this round by storm. Right when he realized Unger got eliminated, you know he was like, boom, the flash, trying to find as many points as he could in this time. And we're going to probably be seeing a little bit of a lead for Baka once we get those points tallied.
Absolutely. I'm excited, man. This next round's going to be very exciting. You know, I thought I could predict what was going to happen on the second round.
No, I did not.
At this point, there's no way I could predict what will happen on the third.
If you told me that Unger was going to place 10th or potential 10th place on second round, I would have said you were lying. I'd be like, yeah, you know who's going to lose their confidence, who's going to miss one shot and cost them the entire round?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have thought that it was going to be Unger, the one going down first. Is Baka, like you said, positioning, knowing where to be at the right time in the right place, it just worked out for him.
Yep.
Absolutely insane work, though. I'm excited. And going into this third round, like, what do you do now? Especially when you realize you're closer and closer now to getting to the end of this whole tournament. You are gradually losing time. What do you do next? What is the next game plan for you to try and figure out to get yourself back up this leaderboard? We're going to be seeing, though, what we're going to have is Baka. What even are we talking about? 18-point difference between the one, the only Unger with 49 points, Baka in first with 67, Hunt Dog in third, tying with Unger actually right there in second place. They're going to now be Zafu with 44 points, Levi Bear in fifth with 32, tying with Tiny with 32 points as well. Thagral is going to be here in seventh place with 26 points. Loco takes Walls in 8th place with 25. Fruit tying there as well. The Big Gouda going to be here in 10th place with 23 points, tying with Pillow. But going down that whole leaderboard, you're seeing some competitors kind of losing the grasp, losing the walls, and trying to just crawl back little bit by little bit. But if you're not going for placements today, you are not going for the money later. So I just don't know how this is all going to end up. But right now, Baka with an extremely demanding lead, I could not imagine what Unger is going to have to do, because just getting eliminated in 10th place, losing so many points, and now we're seeing Rain City Pro, Night Bomber, Lukey Bear, Aram, love the name, Slinky Mouse, Copy, Mean College, Festive Fuzz, Riv, Doggy. I mean, going down the line, there's still 3 more rounds to go, so there's a ton of points to be had. Like we talked about, the scoring for this Winter Series event is entirely different than what it once was. But we're currently looking at the beautiful competitors in the house right now, trying to stay locked in and getting ready for the third round of the day. And with 5 rounds of Fortnite, it does kind of play an impact on you, especially if you're not doing as well as you once thought you would in this tournament. You are going to now be a little bit scared. Maybe the nerves are tensing up. Maybe you're just thinking that all of this is going to go downhill from here on out. But we got the wonderful TOs, Oliver, on the stage. Gonna be able to get all of you in the lobby momentarily, and we will be back with round 3 of the Friday Frags Winter Series momentarily. Stick with us. Hello and welcome back, and unfortunately it's going to be looking like a little bit of a solo cast for the time being. Ryan will be back. He had to go into a little bit of a meeting, but for the time being it's just going to be you and me, and we're going to be going through some Fortnite action momentarily as we are getting ready for round 3. What we saw last round was an absolute domination between 2 juggernauts, Unger and Baka, and those 2 competitors are currently leading the pack, but Baka with an 18-point lead going into this third round. What I'm personally looking forward to is wondering and figuring out what Baka will do next. Will he keep on pressing the gas pedal and keep going forward, or will there be a momentarily little bit of a defensive kind of mentality going forward with Baka? Because with an 18-point lead, we've seen it happen time and time again at these tournaments where that 18-point lead just disappears. It goes bye-bye in a matter of a single round. So I'm pretty curious to see if the placement strategy is still going to be the way to go, or is Baka still going to try and just put the gas pedal down going into this third round, Will they be able to even extend that lead even farther, or will they potentially allow Unger to bring it all back? But we're starting it with the one, the only Nigel Walker, and honestly, always great to see them back with us playing some Fortnite. I always love that they are consistent with the skin that they pick. They got that skiing outfit, and they're going to be able to land on kind of the outskirts with the classic emote. That's what I like to see. That's what I appreciate always, all the time. A little bit biased here, though, but looking at the massive scale of what Epic Games was able to put together with this map, because it genuinely is actually one of my favorite maps when it comes to this entire past few chapters that I've been able to play. I just think this is one of the most fun ones right out of the gate. But Rapid going to be the first one to grab an elimination on the 50 count through in this round, and Leviathan's going to be able to find themselves with full health. And now, wow, we got a very close situation between these two competitors. Rift Doggy going to have to find themselves to just wait and crawl away, because they do not even want to peek around these corners before realizing if that competitor is gone or not. Zafu now going to be dropping in one of the sections and one of the locations I don't particularly like. There's a lot of uneven ground when it comes to high ground advantage there as well. But right now we are seeing Overkill FN right back with us again. Gonna be able to pop those big shields and get themselves kind of suited up for what they're trying to confront. Wasted a little bit of ammo, and with 7 shots in the chamber, you really don't want to be wasting those bullets just yet. Waiting for their time to strike. They've got that Oni mask, which allows you to launch some fire heat-sticking missiles, but unfortunately, it's not going to be able to do that much damage. Dashes up with the sword, drops down to ground floor. Isn't able to find the mark on their shots, but now going to have to just keep on putting out masks with as little as they do have. They're trying to just edit it around, trying to get out of dodge, but Quantize going to be there with their first elimination. Overkill tries to jump around him, but cannot land that shot. Remember, if you break the back of this trailer, you should be able to grab all of those flashes a lot faster. Remember, positioning, mobility are all important key utilization that you have to be aware of. But Levi Bear going to find themselves also on the outskirts of this map, trying to find some better loot, because honestly, like me and Ryan were talking about before, that green hollow assault rifle really does damage at any given point. It is very nice to have at any given point. You don't even have to amp it up. If you get to that mythic legendary status, that's where it's really going to shred with just a few shots. But for the most part, as long as you're able to get a green or above on that assault rifle, and that's what people have been really gravitating towards, you'll find yourself in a great spot. But we're going to be able to have that really hard-hitting assault rifle and take it down. One of the arena accounts is going to be an Inferno Shark 1, grabbing their first elimination of this round, and grabs a little bit of heals to get themselves back up and suited up. Not opting to pop any of those splashes just yet, but absolutely love the costume as well. Got the crown on their head. Will they be able to keep that crown on their head for this round is the question of the day. Serving it up Gary's way. We got Cole Mammoth. Really curious if they're going to be able to run into any other competitors, but with this round so much slower, the previous 32 competitors left, waiting for their time to strike. Going back over to Rapid with 1 elimination. They are currently getting chased down by Burr. They have to get away some way, somehow. They got the Oni mask, but doesn't opt to pop a teleport. They're just trying to run away with the sword. It gives them a little bit more movement speed, but it's not going to be enough movement speed. Rapid trying to find a way to get out, and they do. Pops that teleport, but they are still not safe. And they are not safe at all. Pops up some shields. Burr is right around him, trying to find a way in, but Rapid dashes way across. Pops 1 more teleport, but Burr has the high ground and takes them out of this lobby. Riv Doggy gonna be able to find that kind of stairway to heaven type situation, but pops the foundation, so that's not gonna allow them to go any higher than that. Riv Doggy opting to do the same strategy across from this mountain, trying to find where they went and why. Checks out the bush. That is a key strategy that you should be doing. non-stop in these rounds is always making sure there's not someone hiding in these bushes. Because in that duo tournament last week, that was the main strategy that people were opting for. Granted, that was reload duos, which is a lot faster pace, but if you're able to and you see a bush, there could be someone lurking about and waiting to eliminate you from this round. We got Cyclones on the screen going to have a pretty substantially great loadout. All purple is my favorite color. Gonna have Bolts now going for the build battle against Nigel Walker. Gonna be able to put out some damage onto some of these mags. And remember, the earlier you do these fights, the better, in my opinion, as Baka grabs that one on Festive Fuzz. Levi Bear grabs that one onto 50 cal 18. Nigel Walker trying to run down and hide, but Bolts still really just bloodthirsty right now, going to try and get around these builds, off to go for that high ground spot. But for the time being, they're not able to find him, but will they? Is the question. Going around, checking out these bridges, trying to go side to side. Snips now going to work their way up a mountain as well. I mean, really what we've been seeing is this high ground being the most crucial part of said situation. Trying to just get themselves out and around and keeping them in a safe spot so that they're not going to get third-partied or take a lot of damage. But beyond on these outskirts sort of locations, you're really not seeing a lot of competitors going into these same spots. They know where they want to go. We talked about it. You got to plan your routes when it comes to this tournament, because if you're not able to survive that long, you're missing out on a ton of points. Nigel Walker grabbing that one onto Bolts. Money now trying to just find some mats, trying to find some more. Baka grabbing that one on Mizuki. Going to be working their point total up. I was wondering if they were just going to play the chill guy game, but right now they are being everything but chill, grabbing multiple eliminations. Haven't seen a lot from Unger just yet, but Zafu going to find themselves having to get out of this fight because it's just such a disadvantaged position to be in, but is able to cancel that teleport, trying to juke him out. Guess what? There's a third party just waiting for him, but Zafu going to try and put themselves in a spot where they're going to be able to have at least an exit strategy, putting open a tiny bit of a window to toss that teleport out, and they do. But they're going to once again cancel out the teleport. If you don't know how to do it, you better figure it out, because it's such a crucial thing, as you're already seeing. If Zafu is able to keep quiet and find out where he's able to want to go next, that's where you're going to find success. But Cyclones right now shifting the priority to some of these other competitors who were trying to third-party this build battle. The Cyclones right now feeling confident enough to peek around these corners, but Zafu going to reveal their location. They have not gone away just yet. Cyclones working a bridge across these builds to give themselves at least a little bit of leeway, but that leeway is going to go away as Cyclones trying to survive for the very last second. Zafu going to be able to pop these, trying to take away the foundation of these builds to make it a little bit easier to manage, but Cyclones trying to put out some damage from that high ground, doesn't land anything, and they're going to have to pop it, and there it goes. It's all crumbling down as Loco finds an opportunity to potentially get a flank. Zafu going to get shot from the back, has to pop up some walls. Another third party, or should I say fourth party, waiting to take an elimination some way, somehow. Slowing down the pace of this build battle. We got Zafu still just trying to take away and put out as much damage as possible, as that foundation is gone for that build right across the way. At 0 eliminations, they want to get as many points as they can to work themselves up the leaderboard. As we saw in that third, fourth place position, Zafu still kind of struggling in this tournament so far. See Loco going to opt to see if they can juke out anyone. Levi Bear now across the way, going to be able to find maybe an exit strategy, because they want to get their name known in this fight as well. Will they go for it, though, and go on the aggressive? Because right now, at this Winter Series event, the main event, you did not come out here so early in the afternoon for no reason. You better get in there, be aggressive, and try and find some more points, as Levi Bear going to be able to trim down, try and control this fort, as they do they're not going to be able to find anyone just yet, as they are going to be able to maneuver themselves, try and find where people are at. Finds the train, though, opts to try and pop a teleporter over there, and they do. Will they find themselves confronted in a bad situation, though, is the question, if anyone else is on that train. Levi Bear opting to just scope it out, trying to find any sort of easy eliminations going forward. With 24 players left in this lobby, we now see Riv Doggy in a really bad spot. Don't know what's going on with this build right now. They are vulnerable in every which way. Don't know if they just don't have any mats left with the build that they have and the items that they have. Really, I could only assume that they're just deciding not to put down mats for the time being, as Coffee is going to have to put down some bricks, and they do have some mats, but not a lot to be used. Rip Doggy opting to just teleport out, drops down, doesn't take any fall damage, which is actually such a great situation for him. But once again, the person with the high ground winning this exchange. We got Labak James taking down Cyclones, though. Baka really showing up and showing down. Has Unger just been eliminated early is the question. Did we miss that one? 50 Cal Hunter going down to Levi Bear. Levi Bear now having those 2 eliminations. Really huge for them. 3 eliminations for Baka. And as me and Ryan were saying before, having 2 or 3 eliminations is really all where you want to be, especially if you're in Baka's spot, having an 18-point lead. You're going to find yourself contemplating if these fights are worth it or not, but we're right back on to Unger with those 0 eliminations. I might start thinking that Baka might just be going for 2nd place and just saying, hey, if I can't find Baka at all, I might as well just stay in 2nd, because those 18-point difference is just going to be too much throughout the next 3 rounds. Unger going to be able to protect this fight a little bit, but takes the protection away. I thought they enjoyed having that little home, but they're going to be able to grab that Sprite and go around the corners. And we're not talking about a refreshing beverage that you can get. Just grab one of the bartenders and grab a little bit of a drink. Enjoy yourself here at the arena. We're currently at 21 competitors left for this 3rd round. Snips is going to be able to find another competitor. They're going to be able to build up some walls, but they're opting to just run away. Why put out the damage in the first place if you're not trying to go for the fight? Levi Bear is there, and now will they be able to disrupt this entire leaderboard? Levi Bear going for the high ground. Splashes coming out. They're going to be able to break the top of these walls and control this build a little bit easier, but Levi Bear trying to just use this pickaxe as best as they can, running around, tracking where this other competitor is going. Baka now in a very disadvantaged position, as a little bit of damage is going to land, but they have the splashes to keep themselves healthy. 3 eliminations to Levi Bear's 4. Will they be able to break through and do what they can to try and actually make this 3rd round one to remember? Levi Bear going to be able to pop open this wall and open up a window. They put out a ton of damage. They just got to close up and close this entire situation. Baka having more splashes to put themselves back up to at least a little bit more health. Levi Bear going to opt to put themselves back in this corner to reload, refresh the cooldowns, and they are able to find another competitor that is not Baka at all. Who was there? For what reason and why? Baka gonna be right back up to full health without even a struggle of Levi Bear closing that entire gap between themselves. Remember, last time we saw Baka before full health, he was at 15 HP. So being able to take that time, reposition yourself, and get yourself back up to full health is absolutely remarkable work by Baka. And Levi Bear, unfortunately, was literally a half a second away of changing this entire leaderboard, changing this entire game, as now Unger's going to be able to find this Sky Fortress and says, hey, you guys are playing games without me? Do wait, as I am ready to go in and grab some of these picks and grab some eliminations myself. Baka going to be able to work around these builds and work their way into a better spot, as they are now having to resource drain so much, opting for the more stronger builds in this fight because they knew they were on life support, so they want to give themselves as much time as they can to get back full health. And looking like they're going to be able to just get out of that situation without an issue at all. It was almost an issue because now these Sky Islands having a few different competitors on those bad boys, that's going to have a very interesting change up here as that circle is going to take over the Sky Fortress. Hopefully someone was able to take down that epic boss. Unger's here with 0 eliminations still. What have they been doing this entire round is the question I want to ask them. Loco takes walls, sees one of these competitors going up to the Sky Island, Sky Pia. That's not looking like any of the Straw Hats to me as they're trying to just stop them from taking advantage of that clear high ground situation. But now another third party coming in. Loco takes walls, is going to be able to take those walls and build their way up to the sky, finds a window of opportunity, isn't able to land any damage out, and now they're just going to get outbuilt, and Ice King will get self-eliminated by fall damage. The last thing you want to see happen for yourself. Loco takes walls though, going to be able to float their way up into the sky. A lot of damage coming out, but they're going to be able to find an exit strategy for themselves. Well, actually, no. Will they be able to? They're going to be able to drop down as fast as they can, get themselves surrounded by any sort of protection, pops down the Sprite, and is able to pop some splashes as well. A close call for Loco. Unger is not done just yet, though. Going to follow the teleport, and they are going to be able to see where they have gone. Baka taking down Ben L Gaming just a few moments ago. Baka was literally backed against a wall when Levi Bear was able to absolutely shred their health bar, but now they're going to be able to get themselves back up to full health and work around the map to grab even more eliminations. Unger taking a little bit of fall damage, not really in the calculations that they were thinking of, but they are still hungry for one of their first eliminations of the round. Another teleport coming out. Are they going to use theirs? We talked about it. Maybe 15 is not enough for these competitors, but Riv Doggy is just going to get shredded by that purple hollow assault rifle. Thagral has to pop some more splashes as well, finding themselves on the receiving end of a ton of damage. Quantize also having one. To think about it, some of these competitors that we don't see that often, even having one elimination on the board, Unger with 0, I really don't know where the drive went. Did everything go wrong in that one round where they got eliminated in 9th place, and now they're feeling the stress, they're feeling the pressure. Leviathan, though, is able to outbuild Rain City Pro and grab another elimination for themselves. Lukey Bear at 0. We'll see if they're going to be able to find one of these stragglers as they are able to play a really nice surviving game so far, because really that's the way to do it, as V-Man now going to be the target of potentially a few different situations. But Dangle says, hey, I don't want any of that heat. I'm just going to go to the coldest area possible and enjoy myself. Diego's 8-year-old going to be now popping open some windows, trying to find anything, as we got Coffee, who was the one who took out that epic boss, as they drop down onto Loco. Will Loco be able to take some walls? No, they're not able to. Coffee drops right in, and they're going to be able to paste an elimination onto their score. Great work from this competitor for being so aggressive. I say it every single week. I think the most important part is that if you're the one being the aggressor, especially with that invisibility, you will find yourself with an extra point. B-Man tries to take down little Box James, but it's going to take more than a sword to take this whole champion down, because right now with 5 eliminations, their point total, I can only imagine, and their lead is going to skyrocket after this round. I know there's 13 players left, but man, I am petrified to see how this leaderboard is looking right now. Here comes Zafu as Pitch Go Burr going to now have to just build their way around, have some sort of sustainability, popping really valuable mats to get themselves out of dodge. Zafu going to now have to break down some walls, popping out this shotgun. Unger finds an elimination on Lukey Bear, who I said was doing a great job surviving. Unfortunately, not for that much longer. They just ran into probably one of the best competitors in the lobby. Thankfully, they were able to at least find one in this round as Zafu teleports themselves. But when you do teleport, you have no clue who's looking at said teleport and who's going to be ready for you to pop in and shred your health bar. Levi Bear now with a great loadout as well. Everyone opting for that Sentinel shotgun. One way or another, it's the best pump shot in the game. LeBlanc James finds another one onto Kokame as now Zafu looking at how they're going to be able to position themselves in the best spot possible. Levi Bear teleports in and tries to position themselves as they're going to get shredded, has to pop a lot of valuable mats, puts out those bricks, and now trying to just heal themselves and sustain themselves for the time being, and gets a little bit of downtime as those shots, that downtime will be uptime as they're going to have to put down even more mats. Baka with 6 eliminations. They are currently doing such great work in this lobby so far. Dangle still doesn't even have one. Wasn't even able to grab a better assault rifle, but it doesn't even matter. Copy and paste is going to go down to Dangles from halfway across the map. LeBlanc James putting out damage, trying to resource drain these other competitors and trying to put them on edge as Unger has to pour so much defense into this attack. What will they be able to do after this? Not much, as their mats are going to look scarce. Baka still putting out a little bit of damage. Has to pop a little bit of a teleport to get back up to that high ground. We talked about it. It is one of the most valuable things you can do. And when this circle is getting even stronger in this 8th storm, you cannot stay outside of that much longer, especially if you don't have any med kits on standby. Teleports, 2 of them, just crossing streams, going to go back to back. Thagral going to be able to land a huge shot here, but Baka always having the resources they need to get back up to top health, because especially in these final few circles, that is the most important part of this event, is to be healthy and go into these fights healthy. Unger almost misses 15 shots in a row and almost loses that fight, but they're able to win that exchange. They're going to be able to drop from that teleporter and pop some sustain. Pops one more teleporter. Like we talked about, you have to be careful when you're going around these mountains. You could find yourself potentially getting in a spot where you land outside the circle, but you're seeing on the minimap one player after another, they're all just stacked on the screen. We have the eye in the sky. Zafu gonna be able to take down Dangles in their own fort. Great work by Zafu there to grab one more elimination. Thagral now still at 0 eliminations, not able to find the opportunity that they've been looking for. 8 players left in this lobby. Will they be able to take it all here today is the question. Currently trying to work their way around. Sees the teleport going across. Diego trying to survive, but thankfully still having a little bit more match, but that storm is doing damage. Zafu was the last one to tag him, so they're the last one to grab that elimination. Great awareness of where that teleport's going. Levi Bear's mats are looking extremely low, so they are now trying to just position themselves in the best spot possible, get that storm advantage for when it does move, so they're not teleporting right out of the gate. Unger with 3 eliminations, building themselves up a little nice house, about $1 million. Anywhere else, we got Leviathan finding their elimination. They're going to be able to get popped, and now with only some mats left, we're going to be seeing Unger popping this med kit, going around these corners, and now finding themselves in a very particular spot, because there is one mat, one build after another. That invisibility though coming in clutch, able to allow them at least a half a second of movement before they're about to be shredded, as their resources are looking thin. Unger going to be able to use that invisibility once again to try and find any sort of time. As you can see, actually didn't even know it, but they did buff the time that you are invisible. Unger is going to be able to take down Baka in their own fort with no shields. What are we talking about here? With the invisibility, has the advantage, and now dropping down to the other builds. What a move, and they're going to be able to take some of Baka's shields as well. What just happened there? Levi Bear going to be here with 6 eliminations, leading this pack. Absolutely love their aggression and how confident they've been top 3 situation, but the teleporter, will it be enough? Will the invisibility be enough? Zafu stuck in the outskirts. Levi Bear grabs the victory royale with 7 eliminations on round 3. Wow, what a performance it was for Levi Bear. And honestly, give me a second, because my goodness, he's one of my all-time favorites in the arena. I'm always rooting for them because they are just the ones that I know they have the confidence, they have the aim, and they have the ability to win, and that's what they did today. 32 points going to Levi Bear's name. What a showcase in the 3rd round. And what a change-up, to say the least, because Levi Bear was the very first person to make Baka put their back against the wall and say, what do I do next? If they just broke down those walls and put out 1 little inch of damage, if they just even tickled Baka, they would have been eliminated with 20 players left. But Baka is going to go down in that 4th place spot. Will that impact the standings as all is the question, as Unger also going to be able to grab that top 3 placement as well. But my goodness, congratulations to Levi Bear for playing such a remarkable game and really dominating the rest of the competition with 7 eliminations. That is a showcase, to say the least. But we are going to get those points tallied momentarily and wait to see who's going to be grabbing this leaderboard change up, because we know Levi Bear needing a lot of points to work their way up, and 32 should be more than enough to put them in that top 5, but only time will tell. We're not mathematicians up here. That's why we always got to do some sort of appreciation for everyone doing the math in the back, keeping track of every single elimination in this game, and figuring out who's getting placed, what, where, and why. But man, what a performance it was for Levi Bear to be able to just control the high ground and do what they can to absolutely confirm their first victory of the night. Hopefully it won't be the last, as we will be ready for round 4 momentarily. Stick with us for the Winter Series Friday Frags main event. Hello and welcome back to Friday Frags. We are currently getting ready for the 4th round of the night. Serving it up Gary's way. We currently saw an outstanding performance from the one, the only Levi Bear, grabbing that last victory royale. Will that skyrocket them up the leaderboard? That's the question of the day. But we got the point total. We currently see Baka there in first with 88 points. And then going down, it's Unger with 74, and then we'll be able to go down that line. But that lead getting cut a little bit, 14 points away. Unger getting a great last top 3 finish there, so that's going to help him out a lot. And like we said, these point totals that we have this week, they're going to disrupt this entire game. And Levi Bear right there in 4th place. They have one more game like that, they take over first, which is crazy to think about. But will they be able to do it? Is what I'm waiting for to see. As Zafu also going to be here in 3rd place with 71 points. Unger 2nd with 74. Hunt Dog 5th with 56. Thagro in 6th with 43. And then going down to 10th, 35 to Locals 34 to Dangles 33 to Fruits 30. We are seeing such a huge potential of any one of these up to 7th place right now getting flipped upside down by even going down all the way to 17th place with 29 points to 38. That's an easy thing to do if you're confident in your aim and you're able to take names and do damage. And I'm just excited to see how this leaderboard is going to get shaken up once again. If Baka goes down early like they almost did, we most definitely will be seeing a fight for first. There is still a fight for first, 1000%. And even Zafu, who's playing the safer game for placements, is slowly crawling their way up this leaderboard. They've been in that 3rd place point, but they are now potentially going to be taking over Unger's spot and really going to be able to actually potentially take over Baka's spot that has been their 1st place for quite some time. But we are going to now be going down. And you heard Oliver saying, Bolts, if you're here in the house, you better get to your seat. But if you've already given up, I'd say no. We just saw what Levi Bear was able to do. You can grab 32 points in this one round, and any which one of these competitors in our top 35 will be able to skyrocket themselves into a better spot. And really, at the end of the day, we talked about it. I always complain about it, but going for placement is what you want to do. But if you find yourself in a safe 1v1 position where you're able to go into a build battle, land your shots, you should go for it and grab 1 or 2 eliminations. But with what we have here today, with what this player breakdown is for where these placements are, this is going to be an entirely different strategy as we do get ready for round 4 of this tournament. And truly, when you think about it, if you're able to even grab 2 or 3 eliminations, I mean, you're going to find yourself with maybe even a 21st, 25th elimination kind of point bracket. I mean, that's going to be 7 additional points when you get to that next round. But truly, I'm just excited to see whether or not Levi Bear going to be able to run it back and do what they can to keep this momentum going, because we know all in esports, momentum is what we need. And what we need is to give that statue a good little pat on the head for good luck, as we see some of these competitors opting to scope out the rest of the whole entire lobby to say, hey, where is everyone going? Let's make sure that I'm going to be safe when I drop down and that no one else is going into the same spot as I am as well. But Mizuki going to now opt to go for one of these outskirt locations, which I actually like a lot when it comes to loot, is that these little gas station spots, these little outskirts actually have not bad loot in them at all. But when you go to the super outskirts, you're going to find yourself maybe with a golden assault rifle. But if you can't find any other competitors with said golden assault rifle, you will be in a very bad spot. Leviathan going to be able to find their own Oni Fire Mask, which I still have not been able to figure out how to utilize correctly. That weekly quest is still in the bank, and I'm trying to cash it in, but my goodness, it's probably the worst part about this season. They tried to buff it and put additional damage out for it, and it locks into the competitors, but every single person going to find that Fire Oni Mask, and it doesn't do anything for you. It takes too long to lock on, and when it does, it really isn't even a lock on really at all. So when you're trying to put out damage, it doesn't do what its primary purpose is to do, which is to lock on and do damage. But Lucky Bear is gonna go down first. Festive Fuzz will be able to find their first elimination of this round. And with 34 competitors in this lobby, we can only assume it's going to get a little bit slower going forward. And right now we will be seeing once again Ryan right back at us again. I will not have to only be the only voice you hear in your ears. We've got the savior, Ryan. Welcome back. How was whatever you had to do?
It was great, man. It was exhilarating. I was flying out of my pants, honestly. Now that we're back, though, I saw that. Last name Bear, first name
Levi. Levi Bear grabbing 7 and a victory royale. Put him up to 5th place, which is crazy. And if they do that one more time, and they are young competitors, so maybe the nerves, maybe the hype's getting to them. If they do that again, they actually can take over Baka's spot.
Well, there was a timeline with that, you know. The first game was a really early elimination. The second game, it was about midway through. And then to take the first place in the third, that's excellent. We like to see this kind of character progression during the event and kind of taking the important details, recalibrating your approach, and putting it to practice. And we got to see that last game, and that was awesome, man. That was awesome.
It really, really was. And I'm a huge fan of Levi Bear. We see him come out week after week after week. They get so close to an opportunity of winning these matches, but they just come up short time and time again. But the confidence they showed off in that match, it was literally unmatched, in my opinion. It was crazy. If you put away the names, you couldn't tell if that was Levi Bear or Baka controlling the high ground and putting out that damage.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what we'd like to see, you know. I think this event gives a really cool opportunity to also learn from others, right? You're playing all in the same venue. If you've got a question after the game, you could walk up and ask another competitor, hey, man, how'd you get up there? You know, and they might or might not tell you exactly what their strategy was, you know? And I think that's a really interesting kind of information sharing aspect of the event that I really appreciate.
I think so. I totally agree. When you are here in the house, in this lobby, like you might be, you know, if you're playing this online, right? Because I always am an advocate for LAN experiences, because you can do something like that. The person you eliminate might just be right next to you, and you can think, what did you do right? What did I do wrong? And they can give you feedback. Because we do have some of the most talented players in the house. We already see Rain City Pro. I already told him I need to ask a lotto questions for them as Levi Bear is already coming out swinging. 2 eliminations to their name. They are still going to be able to be taking names and taking house. The confidence is off the charts for this competitor.
I mean, this just keeps happening all day today with us, Pidgey, but we keep talking about something in the beginning of the game, and as soon as we get into the game, that thing we're talking about kind of comes out in full swing, and seeing a nice early double frag for Levi Bear, awesome.
It was awesome, but Diego goes down to fall damage. We've seen him in the top 5 fights, top 10 fights, really, every single round. And now they get clean swipe eliminated early, potentially by a bad teleport, it's judging how far away they were. But now Copy also on the brink of elimination. Pinch is going to be able to take them out in a pinch if they're able to land their shots, and they do. Copy that, they are down.
That was a great pickup from Pinch, and you know, he was also somebody that got knocked out pretty early in round 2. But you know, these early kills, he's got the holographic. I think he's in a good state for this match to make a swing on that leaderboard.
He really is. And Zafu, another competitor in 3rd place right now. 2 Unger 74. They are really in an interesting spot, right? They are truly doing work right now in terms of going for placement, winning these 1v1 fights, something I explained earlier today, that you really do want to confront these competitors. If you're playing offensively, there's only so much defense that they're able to help you. Rib Doggy, though, didn't even realize Cyclone was there, and they're going to be able to twist their way around the competition and grab that elimination. Rapid going to be able to win that exchange. The Black Widow skin is not going to give you aim accuracy buffs here at all. They also have the lowest win rate in Marvel Rivals, and it's showing why. The flank comes out, and Rapid is going to be able to rapidly shred their health bar.
And he's got an Oni mask. I mean, can you double up on the Oni mask? Is that something that's in this game? Can you pick
no,
up
you
2?
Cannot. It will just replace the one that you have with the higher, with the one that has more.
Gotcha.
So you can't really stack them up. That's why you go for the 50. But I was keeping track of it last game. There was a few times where they got to around 3 or 4 teleports left by the end of the game, though. So I'm just saying. I think 15 is more than enough. You don't have to risk anything. But going for that Mythic Hollow is also something that Levi Bear was able to do, and it helped them out a lot to get their victory royale. But 50 cal Fruit is going to take a little bit of damage there and try and protect themselves. They got the Bojack Horseman skin on, trying to survive and trying to do what they can to get out of this really risky situation.
Who's on him here? Quantize, it looks like. And Levi Bear, you know, while this is going on, did pick up a 3rd frag. So
wow!
He's starting this game off very early. There's 24 out of 34 competitors left as people make their rotations into the zone here. Looks like 50 cal and his competitor Quantize here are going to look to probably disengage, and just go for those placements. And, you know, these rotations, they kind of tell a story, right? It's like, how do we, you know, get in without finding that confrontation? You're seeing it time and time again. People build up, send a couple shots, and then Oni mask out opposite directions until everyone kind of inevitably wraps around to the circle and, you know, finds their re-entrance fight on the way back in.
Exactly. And the Oni mask is a key item in this season. You're seeing it, especially in those end circles, trying to juke out other competitors, trying to just toss it so that they have zone advantage. There's a lot that you have to do with that Oni mask that makes it so crucial to have at any given time. So we actually saw early game, especially with that Infernal Oni mask, it's just so bad, and it's getting, it's so sad because I feel like it's such a cool... Unger goes down to Pinch Burr with 23 players left. Their 2nd place spot is extremely vulnerable. As long as Zafu is alive, they're going to be able to work their way up above Unger's spot and some if Baka gets eliminated early as well. What a change up. Where did Unger's confidence go? Where did their aim go? They better boot up some aim labs while they're waiting because I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a really surprising knockout so early in the match. You usually don't see things like that as far as Unger and Baka's performance. But we're going here to VTS. How would you take a stab at the name?
I said Thagral. But
Thagral.
Like integral, but I could be wrong. I could be. There was multiple times where I think I'm saying someone's name right here, and then they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, oh.
I commend you for having such an expertise on the game, Pidgey, and to know so much about so much in the game, and to be able to,
Reading is tough. What
Right.
can I say? You know what? I need to read more books. What can I say? Gaming has taken over a little bit of my free time. You know what? When I boot up, I mean, there's reading in games, you know, I can say that, you know, but yeah, no, reading names, a little bit tough. And you're getting to experience that a little bit with some of the names where you're like trying to sound it out syllable by syllable.
You don't want to get anyone's name wrong, right?
No, you don't. I feel so bad afterwards where I'm like, I swear I'm not doing it on purpose. V-Man Vance, though, a competitor who comes out weekly trying to go for those placements, and this is exactly when you want to do it. I always, wow. Did Levi Bear give their controller to someone? They just eliminated Cyclones from the game, who we just saw played so extremely well in the very beginning of this match, being able to grab one, but Levi Bear dominating the competition so far. But yeah, I don't even know. If Levi Bear wins 2 in a row, that's going to actually change this entire game up going into the final round. I hope that their confidence isn't going to be the downfall of them, because they are taking a lot of fights extremely early.
Absolutely, and we keep saying that, you know, it's play for placements, and obviously based on the scoring, it is the most objectively logical thing to do, but we're seeing this aggressive gameplay work for a lot of our competitors for this event, and I think that's really cool, where you can find that angle that other people aren't taking, which is go full bore into your opponents. You know, those 2 early kills for Bear was just awesome, you know, and now they're sitting at, I think, 4 eliminations, and that's a pretty incredible amount to have at 20 people left, you know, out of 34.
It is. It really, really is. And with these smaller lobbies, that's what we see. Sometimes we see an absolute outstanding domination by some of these competitors who are getting 8 to 9 eliminations per game. But with these smaller lobbies, with these 34 competitors, that's where we're going to now realize that, you know what, grabbing 3 or 4, that is already an astounding amount of eliminations. But Baka going to be able to go for one of these bosses, upgrade their shotgun, and be able to at least also get their shields back up to top, because when you need it, you are going to want 100% shields, 100% health, because 1 HP will be the difference. Like we saw in that 3rd round, there was a time where Levi Bear literally got Baka down to 10 HP, and Baka was able to get away.
Wow, I didn't get the chance to witness it, but that sounds like
It was crazy.
Play.
It was. If Levi Bear just chased them down for 1 more second, they were probably going to be able to eliminate them. But that's what I'm saying. Every single piece of HP matters in this tournament, because if you're down 1 or 2, that might have been enough damage to save your life in one of these fights.
And we've seen some of those clinches, you know, it gets down to that last 10, 5, 2, you know, HP points, and that's the decider for a lot of these, because everyone is playing, you know, so well and aiming so well that, you know, 1 bullet, if they hit every bullet, and you have that 2 HP missing, it's over. You're dying a whole extra bullet sooner, which is a couple seconds. You can quantify that down in its value. So I see your point there with the making sure you're always at full shields
1,000.
if you have the, you know, capabilities to.
Absolutely. 50 cal Dangles, though, going to now try and find this competitor underneath the Mizuki. Is going to take down Nigel Walker. Nigel just not having a great showing for this one, especially when it matters the most with this Winter Series event and a trophy being on the line. I was really hoping for Nigel to be able to come out and really dominate, but there's still 1 more round to go, and Dangle's going to be able to get a crazy trade there between Shotgun Blast. They're trying to break down these walls and control them, but now they're going to be in a 1v1 situation. Corner to corner, Hunter is going to be able to hunt down Dangles. The 50 cal squad is not going to allow anyone else to survive. Great work there. I always say, when you're pressing the advantage, being offensive, you're going to win these fights. But if you're not able to land your shots and the person backed against the wall does, that's where you're going to find out and try and figure out where it all went wrong.
That was another one of the situations. You know, he came out of that with 90% shields.
Yep.
Not 100. And,
Nope.
and you saw the HP left. It was about 30 HP. 1 more shot would have given him the time to turn that fight around, and you could see that it went in the way of Hunter because he was full HP, full shields.
Exactly. It's really a game of little bit by little bit, you try and upgrade your loot. You try and find the next position you want to go to. You try and find the next fight. Every little bit is what adds up to your final outcome of this tournament. And it's really fun to watch, right? Because you see some competitors, I mean, Hunger, unfortunately, just finding themselves gradually going lower and lower and lower in terms of confidence. Then you have other competitors finding themselves with the confidence to go where they need to and actually just take total control of each location they go to.
He's at 4 frags right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Levi Bear is playing excellent. Full mats. He's pretty much set for the end game here. We see Mizuki. He's spotting somebody taking the pot shots again. If I see you, you're spending your materials. We see this time and time again with these guys that have these good rotations already in the zone, getting that high ground, and immediately sending fire backwards to the people trying to make their way in.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where you see where a lot of competitors like to take their stance, because you're seeing on the map, but Mizuki's actually going to probably opt to do something here. Sees them running up the mountain, but not going for the teleport just yet. Yes, they do. Mizuki, though, through that teleport's going to take a little bit of damage, a lot of bit of damage, as they're now going to have to pop some splashes as they go for the more aggressive play. When you're this far away and you know you're not going to land exactly on their mats, it's really better to just not even take the chance, because you might get turned around on right now like we're seeing Mizuki do.
And if so far out, you know, Pinch is coming up behind this whole fight, and he hears this going on the side of the mountain. He has a perfect opportunity to just start walking in this direction if he chooses to. But like you said, I think that teleport is better used elsewhere when going, you know, aggressive like that. They were both in zone. There was no need to go aggressive there. They already had the positioning, the rotation. So this is an extra risky play from both players.
1000%, and we're currently now seeing Mizuki going to be able to pop peek in, but they were just hiding around the corner across those stairs, and now we're going to be seeing Loco takes walls, outmaneuver. They didn't even know where they were, and Mizuki is going to go down and have to wait for the final round. Loco takes walls, was doing some pretty Loco movements, to say the least, and absolutely did work in that 1v1 build battle fight. And that's what you really want to do, but you got to be ready if they're going to pop out, peek their head out. You can't just commit to try and break down these walls and break down these kind of situations. They could have easily just ran in, closed the gap, and gotten a headshot on their shotgun, but they just allowed Loco to run around them and eliminate them, which is really unfortunate. But Zafu going to opt to try and see what they can do here, reposition and put themselves in a spot where maybe Thagral won't be expecting them. Always going for that animation cancel on the teleport to try and juke them out, but I don't know how really useful it is when you're also already building. But Thagral on life support, they've got to get an ambulance on the way. If they don't, they're going to be finding themselves back in the lobby screen waiting to respawn. What will they do against Zafu's push?
I mean, this is looking like a spicy situation, too. This is not just a third party. It's not even a fourth party. It might be a fifth party situation here that's transpiring.
Whoa. I didn't even take a second to look at the mini-map. That is actually kind of crazy to think about. Look at what we're seeing. Entire lobby is literally almost
so far from zone, and they are looking to take each other out before that last zone even comes around. We're 6 out of 12 storms here. We get a minute as the storm shrinks down before it resets that timer. We got 13 players left at a 34, and again, that hyper aggression. But as we keep talking about, they just thinned out. We just saw 5 people in one location down to 2 within 15 seconds. That was an incredible amount of time that all those players had a very similar train of thought of, I need to get out of here. I need to get into the zone safely with my materials and my shields and HP.
1000%. And really, you have to pick and choose your fights. If you're just going for every single fight when you're not in a good spot, where your positioning is terrible, where you can't survive, you are going to find yourself, unfortunately, on the losing end of those exchanges. But thankfully for Zafu there, he was able to pop down one of those sprites and grab a lot of health from them. They already do that huge boost of 30 HP or 30 shields right when you throw it down. So that's actually huge play there, as the current storm is at a 2-tick, and then it's going to go up from there. Once we get to that 7th and 8th storm, 50 cal 18 is now going to be able to find themselves just doing a little bit of camping, waiting for these competitors to get in the circle, and they have a huge advantage. They better be laying down some mats and waiting for those competitors to come to them, because with the luck of having that zone advantage, it's going to be huge for them.
Absolutely, and we can see Baka here, maintaining some kind of artificial high ground against one of the 50 cal players, and everybody was in zone just a second ago, but now it's going to move again. So it's get over there safely, and what is the safest route for all the remaining 10 players, right? Baka is just doing a great job of using his ability to recon and scout out kind of where is everybody hiding right now, He's aware of this player on top of the mountain. You can see him building right after the Oni mask, split-second decisions. He knows, again, this is a congruent to the same aggression that we saw in the first game. Oh, he's taking pot shots here at Leviathan and Levi Bear. Levi Bear is going to find the kill onto Leviathan. That is incredible. 8 players left as Baka makes his rotation.
With 5 eliminations, I'm just actually speechless. Levi Bear has found this new confidence that has just been showing up right now. Loco takes walls, though, is going to be able to find a little bit of damage, doing a little bit of an exchange there with Zafu. Labak James going to be able to eliminate Snibs, and they're going to find a teleport across the way. Hopefully that'll be a safe position, but every time you do that teleport, you see these competitors, great call out, putting down an wall of protection, a building of protection, a square to say the least, so that they're not getting shot from every direction in case someone is camping that spawn point.
That behavior has changed throughout just the 4 matches that we've kind of been watching here. It's like, again, somebody's doing a thing, and they're like, oh, that was really effective. I want to adopt that. And we're seeing that immediate adaptation from majority of the players in these matches.
Levi Bear opting for that high ground spot. You got to be a little careful. Got me a little scared going off that ledge there, trying to scope out the rest of the competition, but you do not want to lose the fall damage. That would be the most unfortunate ending of this round that I've ever seen in my life. No one really with a huge zone advantage except one other competitor, which I can only assume was 50 cal 18, who's going to be the most near of that new circle. So we'll see what happens next. Levi Bear just trying to resource drain these other competitors, make them put down those walls so that they aren't ready for this final storm, which is most likely going to be this 9th storm once people have to move. But being at Proxy Floodgate, the thing is that the underground location is going to be a very safe spot, not only to farm some mats, but also to be able to just run through and give yourself that protection you normally would not have fighting on the actual high ground.
That's a great point. Pidgey coming in with the map knowledge. Knows where all these nooks and crannies are of
I actually didn't until I had to do a mission for the Christmas quest. I was trying to find these sewers, and I could not find them at Foxy Floodgate. So, you know what? That just recently happened, thankfully. I'd be like, how the heck did they get down there? I have no clue. But Hunter going to be able to pop down that Sprite, pop down that shield at the same time. I would have waited a little bit for that Sprite to heal yourself up, then pop that big shield, but hopefully they'll have enough to get them as high as they can in terms of health and shields. But Baka, once again, going for that high ground, saying, hey, you know what, if you guys are down there, I'm going to be up here and just rain AC 130 shots into all of these builds and try and get everyone on edge.
Yeah, he's got a great positioning. This is the kind of god angle that we talk about, the blueprint, the top to down. This is him taking full advantage of that. He is seeing so many players outside of their builds, and it's not that they're not building, it's just that he's got such good positioning. He's able to find every second that they find outside of that build for it.
And now we see Quantize 2 eliminations. We're going to now have to find themselves in a spot where they are going to get contested by multiple different competitors. With how small this circle is, I really thought the 9th circle would be it, but now with so much more movement being needed to get into the next storm, we are currently seeing Levi Bear finding a safety corner, has to pop these small shields first, then that big shield, so that they get that full health regeneration, those full shield regeneration. But fortunately enough, they're going to be able to at least have these metal mats to tank a lot of damage for themselves for the time being. Zafu getting stuck onto the outskirts of this storm. We got the Oni mass teleport. They're going to be able to go right up on top, builds up around the walls. 50 cal 18 is now going to be able to take down Zafu, who was just trying to run across the road. But that's why you look both ways before crossing the street, or you're going to get eliminated. 50 cal Hunter going to be able to build up some walls as well, as this circle is just getting smaller and smaller with every blinking moment. The back James now trying to rain down. They still have the high ground situation, and no one can contest them just yet. As Levi Bear goes down, the back-to-back dream will not happen. 50 cal only going to lose half of their shields and then be able to blast themselves back up and run right into Quantize for their third elimination of this game. And it's looking like LeBach James is going to have the positioning and high ground to take down the rest of these competitors, but we will see what happens. Only purple loadouts. Will they have a better advantage? They do not. Quantize takes down Hunter and Baka. 5 eliminations and a victory royale. Put the crown back on top, and they will be able to have a monumental lead going forward into the final round. What a showing that was for the one, the only Baka, as we got the one, the only Osti in the house being able to run right back in.
You're not wrong. Oski Champ's great, but Baka, yo, it's like 5 years we've been seeing this kid come out here, do what he does, get these dubs, these victory royales, and now we're going into the final lobby. I'm not even sure where the points are. I'm just walking into the building, but I'm knowing that Baka's way up there on the leaderboard for
I
sure.
appreciate you coming in. You know what? Not leaving me high and dry just yet. You know what? We've had a fantastic showing just right now, but Levi Bear, another competitor who's been with us for a few years now, he was able to find a victory royale, but unfortunately got eliminated in 4th place on that round, and now we're going to be seeing a huge upset potentially with Baka winning that final round. And you're seeing how these scoring totals work. A victory royale is 25 points. He had 5 eliminations with that, so that's going to be 30 points.
Sheesh. That's a couple more points than I would have gotten this lobby, but hey, I'm very excited to see how this leaderboard is shaking up. You know, Winter Series has been just a great example of everything that's great about HyperX Arena and Esports and creating great shows around these amazing people down here that are sharing their Friday with us. So we're super happy to have y'all in the building with us and really looking forward to getting into this final drop so I can get to see kind of the level of play that's been going on here.
1000%. We always have to shout out every single parent in the house right now, because without you guys, I say it every week, the parents are the true MVPs. They're the ones dealing with the traffic, driving everyone down here and getting them in the building, because without these competitors, these Winter Series events with these trophies, with these competitions, they wouldn't be happening. We would have to replace it with something different, but the dedication from these competitors is what brings people down here every single week. And that's what I love to see.
We get to see the hardware as well, which I'm mad excited to be given out to somebody very shortly, so y'all know, even if you're not where you want to be on the leaderboard right now, you have the chance to do the unthinkable. You could get up to, 40 points in a round, get some 15 eliminations in the Vic? You could change the whole thing upside down right here. The choice is yours. The drop is coming in soon, and I cannot wait to very shortly after that give away one of these trophies to one of these very deserving talents down there.
Absolutely. We're currently seeing all the wonderful audiences in the house. You know what? You can wave to the camera, say hello, and really show off. These are the people that matter the most. Mike is in the back. My mom's here supporting as well. We're going to be seeing all of these wonderful audience members being able to come out and support their own son, daughter, or otherwise, being able to compete in this tournament and bring home some cash money. I know I was able to talk to some of the parents. I mean, personally, just from Speedway alone, which is tomorrow, so many competitors have gone home with truly from this place tens of thousands of dollars. If you put in the time and the effort, it's going to pay off quite literally.
And there's nothing like the LAN experience. Of course, getting on the leaderboards online, going out to the, the little brackets that you can find that on Start.gg or whatever for the online tournaments, they help. But nothing's like getting in here, getting the real shake in your hands, the lights are on you, that you hear the commentators in the booth, and that's what the opportunity here allows people to level up to the next level. That's why we're seeing these kids that have been in these Fortnite tournaments for all these years going to globals, going to make part-time jobs for themselves, and past that make their parents super proud doing it because they're doing something that they love and that they've spent an uncountable amount of hours dedicating their lives to.
I mean, if you're wondering how Baka has gone so good, they have put the time, the energy, the hours into competing. And even when we're seeing all these competitors grow every single week and get more comfortable under the lights, like you said, on this stage, having the commentators saying, what are you doing? You're aiming bad. You are going to be able to help yourself out so much more, because the LAN to online, we were talking about it a little bit, it's just so much different. The person you eliminate might just be right next to you, and you could say, what did I do wrong and what did you do right? What can I do better? And that's the camaraderie that is built here at the arena.
And if you're enjoying what you're seeing right here, right now with this Frags, like Pidgey had said earlier, we have our Speedway finals coming tomorrow, the Speedway main event, one of our biggest communities, so no doubt those trophies will be highly coveted. Even if you aren't able to join us here in the arena, we'll be live, of course, on twitch.tv Allied Esports. But then, of course, on Sunday, we got the Knockdown main event where I will be jumping on the couch with Foe and with our friend No Meta Nick, breaking down all of that action, and it's going to be a treat to really wrap up this Winter Series event that, shout out Oliver putting it together. This has been a treat.
It really has been, and trying so many new games, right? Bringing in new communities to the arena. We had the Warzone duos, we had the Black Ops 6, we had Counter-Strike, all of these games like you're seeing above, being able to give back to these communities and really have them show up and show down for not only cash money prizes, but these beautiful trophies as well, it's what this is all about, right? To be able to just say, hey, I put the time in and now I can show off and show out with some of these beautiful trophies. I mean, they are actually wonderfully made. Great pick, Oliver, as well. Got the whole Luxor vibe with it and the weight and everything else. I think that just goes to show the emotional weight of how much time and dedication these players have put in to this tournament and to going every single week, grinding the game and doing what they can to learn as much as they can.
And it's just the start because not to tease too much. Maybe I'm behind the scenes too much, and Oliver's going to beat me up. But, we're going to be able to bring a summer games together from everything that we're learning here, and then even do a more leveled up version of what we're trying to establish with these winter games and summer games. So before the Allied Ninjas come in and take me away.
Hey, you said too much. Come on.
We were supposed to erase his memories when he left that room, man. Was he telling everybody the goods? But no, we just want to, of course, cultivate some excitement with y'all because this is very exciting for us, and just being able to bring our first tournament trophies of our own trophies. Of course, I was talking about this with somebody in the news. We had a little hit talking about the Winter Series, but we always do trophies for client events and other people that come through here, a lot of big names and awesome people, but not often do we really invest in our own things, hardware, trophies for our own communities that we've cultivated. So it's a super big step in the right direction, and I really can't wait to bring even more value into the summer games.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I've been here for so long. I've been coming here so long where I remember there used to be League of Legends events and you'd be able to put, you guys would get a trophy and put the names on the trophy as well. That's what made it all special. But what's even more special to see where we're at right now in this Friday Frags event. And
say it.
I don't want to say it at all, but right now with Unger's 31-point lead is what we're realizing right now. To Levi Bear's 87, Zafu with 86, Unger with 81. If Baka wasn't here, this would be a contested match, but right now, should we put like a little stress onto Baka right now? Put the trophy right next to him and be like, this is what's on the line. You better not mess up. You better not done goof. But right now, I don't know what to tell you other than that 10th place is now also heavily contested. Loco is going to be able to take over that spot, but you're seeing Thagwell, 52, Trojan, 51, Loco with 50, and Pinchko Burr with 49, Fruit right behind there with 43 points. So there is a lot on the line right now in terms of getting in the money and taking home a trophy, and I think Baka might already be polishing it himself, getting ready to bring it home.
That's right. The battle on the bubble is intense. You're mentioning that some of those point margins, 1, 2, 3, you're really going to have to make your choice. Am I going for eliminations or am I going for placement?
Yeah.
And also keep a good mind of people that are near you on the leaderboard. And if you see them getting any eliminations or you see them eliminated early, it totally changes your strategy.
1000%.
But speaking on Baka, kind of giving me some 2019 Booga vibes, right? At the world, like going into the final drop, feeling way too confident. He has a chance here to make a huge statement. And then on the second side, we got some amazing names as well that are still very much in this thing. You don't even understand.
25 points.
50 points is at 8th place, right? So if you got
25 points victory, but Baka, I mean, Levi Bear got 32 points in one round.
Exactly.
That's enough to get in the money and some. come. So if you're right here, this tournament is designed to help you come back and win. You just got to survive. You got to be able to put down those walls and mats and be able to position yourself in the best spot possible, because really, at the end of the day, surviving is what matters the most in this tournament right now.
And you got to make sure that you forget everything that you got in your head from before, and you got to be present. You can't think also even about the future. You need to be understanding where those sounds are coming from. You need to be thinking about your current position in the lobby. It doesn't matter about what you've done. We got to make sure that this last drop is the final statement, the best statement, because it's the last one. And we're going to be giving these trophies away after it's done. So y'all stay tuned, because this is about to get hot.
It really is. Going into this final round of the main event series for Friday Frags, everyone has come out, shown out, and absolutely had a showdown, to say the least, because this has been an absolute great showcase for all of the competitors here today. But we are here. We're not being square, because we are around for the final round of this event. We're starting it out on the copy. Hopefully they'll be able to pace one of their better performances of the day and put themselves up the leaderboard once again. Showing out on the Appa Yip loadout. Love to see it, because we don't get to see enough different gliders. Everyone likes to be consistent on the loadout that they bring in terms of skins and otherwise. But Copy going to try and find a spot where they're going to be able to grab some loot first and get their run going. Quantize goes down early. He was a top 5 competitor last round, but Leviathan said no more. We're hearing it on the floor now. These competitors are getting upset.
Yeah, that is big. It's going to shake up that top of the scoreboard. Like we said, that is exactly what a lot of those bottom of the table contestants were looking for. Some of these big dogs to fall early so that they can have a chance to rack up eliminations, rack up points from staying in, and possibly make these final score tabulations something I would not want to be the tournament organizer looking at.
I say that every single week. I'm glad that someone else does it, because if I try to add up the points, you would be seeing something that doesn't make sense any single day of the week. But Overkill going to opt to just grab some more mats. Remember how important that is when it comes down to any of these early game fights. Unger still trying to run around, find any sort of great loot. They didn't have that purple shotgun, which is nothing to scoff at, as well as the Oni mask, which we've been seeing so much usage of today, as it's such really a staple in the meta of what this season is.
Ooh, gonna get some nice loot here. Not gonna end up opting for that shotgun though, and moves on. We're gonna see what Leviathan is up to. One of the first claimers of a kill here. Already sitting pretty in map 5 with 1 point on the board. Heading over to a little bit of a standoff here between Fuzz and friends, but actually gonna retreat back into the masked meadows. Remembering to grab some mats. In the meantime, Rapid approaching this fight infested. Fuzz looking to posture up for it, but very just seeing how important this final round is. Nobody wanting to die to being disrespectful for no reason.
The rough part about dropping so far away from a named location is what you're seeing right now on the screen. Rapid, though, also in the same exact spot in terms of what we're going to expect from these two competitors. Pull out the pistol. They're going to be able to live just barely. Festive Fuzz grabs one with the hop jump shot and lands it. But guess who? There's going to be someone you don't ever want to see after you get an elimination and you're trying to grab some more loot from the person you just beat. But Baka grabs their first of the round.
Yeah, Baka becoming less and less true to that name and never really playing in that silly way. Always on the prowl, always looking for the quick and easy elimination points. And right now, Mizuke is definitely somebody that is feeling the heat. You know that those steps are some vetted steps, a little bit of a tag there with the shotgun, but LeBlanc James, Baka themselves trying to get inside of this sneaky little window here. Mizuke has to be very nervous about this.
Oh, Baka, you can tell the nerves a little bit trying to get that flick, but unfortunately it just runs right into the wall. They're going to be able to drop down, try and take down these builds, and they do. Absolutely just shreds these walls. Baka not even stressing at all. What was I talking about? Rib Doggy is going to get eliminated early, and Snips will be able to find their first one and is having a little bit of trouble getting out of the water, but thankfully they learned how to swim, and they're going to be able to get up and out of that situation. Grabs one for themselves. Zafu running around with the samurai sword, and they're going to be able to find themselves the Oni mask that has just been such an integral part of every single person's loadout of this whole entire Friday Frags.
Oh, we are sitting with a beautiful narrative brewing up right now. We're missing a couple of key players that I would love to be seeing in there. And speaking of missing some people, I'm not even going to talk about that. We'll just let that marinate.
Just hiding in a corner saying, Baka, please don't. I'm just trying to survive until the end of time.
Yeah, I'm not trying to snitch on my friend and give no some screen hacks to people that might have an earphone pop to them. Man, yeah, we got a little bit of a prop hunt going on. It looks like that's what They Growl is also trying to cook on.
They are, and grabbing as many mats as you can, max it out, and really those metal mats as well, going to be the most integral part of many situations. We see them being used in these 1v1s so often so that you have so much more time to either heal, shield, or otherwise and get yourself better positioning in these build battles, because if you don't have those metal mats, you're going to find yourself in a very vulnerable spot. You can see how long it takes to grab these mats, so that's why potentially, you know what, it's not going to be the easiest thing to keep grabbing, but you got to keep looking for it. Right now, 50 cal 18, going to be able to build up some walls, going to be able to extend out this house. Renovations are always necessary sometimes, but now trying to find as much as they can in terms of loot and mats, peeping their head out, not able to find anyone just yet. Dangles going to be able to dangle the pickaxe over these mats, grab some more and work their way forward, but my goodness, that is a little bit of a scary situation to be in. I knew it was going to happen, not realizing where they were at, and that high ground is going to now be the worst situation known to man. Dangles, where did Leviathan even come from?
Instantaneous transmission from Leviathan. Dangles was feeling like a spicy pepper. I know that heart was beating. Doesn't know where the threat's coming from, and then all of a sudden Leviathan appears from behind. Yo, we got.
I need a replay or something. We got to get the replays back in the house. I don't know. He was just chilling there. He was just in the corner like he barged into his domain. I don't know how it happened.
Actual Leviathan jump scare is hilarious. That's a real meme. We'll copy it. We'll paste it. We'll figure it out. Come into a meme print near you. But right now, Leviathan.
That meme where it just goes da-da-da-da-da, something like that, with a question mark on top of their heads. When you just turn around, you don't even realize they're there. Cyclones is going down to Unger. Hopefully Unger will be able to get a good match, because remember, Levi Bear is in second place, Unger in third by a single point. So right now they do have the advantage, but Levi Bear are going to be able to even it out. So that's the story of the day right now, is that second, third, and fourth place spot, because Levi Bear also having that one elimination. They got to keep track of how many Unger is getting, because they've got to match it or just get a better spot, because Unger grabbing 20th in that previous round is going to be the deciding factor on whether or not that's going to come and bite them in the butt. But Levi Bear is barely going to be able to handle how fast they're trying to edit these mats. Pops some splashes, gets back up to full health, one of the most necessary things you can do. Sentinel Shotgun, though, man, that's been just a meta. I thought we'd see more Onis, but they're going to be able to teleport around, try and find who they were looking for, but unfortunately now going down for the chases. Will it be enough? And when someone's running away from you, you should feel a lot more confident going after that competitor.
Levi Bear hitting his best Yoru impression. I'll be right back, but it's going to be a little bit of return fire actually coming out, making Levi Bear re-evaluate that approach. You're going to have to re-shield up here and wait for this opportunity to get out and make sure that all harm has passed away. That's going to be Unger now on the other side of things, right next to 50 cal Hunter. They're both definitely trying to stay in for a bit longer than this. We are still in top 20 territory. You are not very happy to be leaving the lobby this early, so we're seeing some respect being paid. Got the gold Oni mask on 50 cal Hunter and this gold assault rifle, so feeling so comfortable to just sit and wait into the final circles. Has a lot of firepower, a lot of maneuverability. Unger possibly has an eye on what the loop could be from this kill, though, and wants to approach on it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. I mean, you even see Unger right now, green hollow assault rifle, which is really going to do some damage. You're already seeing that, but once you get into that gold, into that mythic, that's where you're going to get shredded. But even having a green hollow assault rifle, it's going to do a ton of damage. They're trying to jump up, get around these builds, and break through and control the fight, because the more walls you break, the more you're going to be able to put down and manipulate, like you're seeing Unger do right there, pushing around and trying to press the advantage, as Snips really has their back against the wall, but they're trying to push out a bridge of hope as they're going to be able to try and maneuver themselves in a better spot. But the high ground is where you want to be. Unger also working their way around. Positioning is key in this fight, as both competitors are just trying to find a millisecond where they're going to be able to pop out their shotgun and annihilate the other person's health bar. Snips gets the first strike, and now it's going to be up to Unger to retaliate, but will they be able to? No. They're going to have to just throw down the Sprite, and heal up from that exchange.
Very smart disengage there. Unger had mat advantage. There was definitely an offensive pressure that was coming out that I felt like you could tell the defense was starting to wane. It was a little bit of scared, and when that happens, never feel like the bad answer is to take a tactical retreat. You gotta get time. You gotta go re-up those mats. You don't gotta die on your shield, especially in the final drop.
1,000%. With 22 players left, if you go down now, you're not going to find yourself up the leaderboard at all, unless you've got 15 eliminations only. But then that math wouldn't make sense. LeBron James going to be here and try and change it all up, but thankfully they're going to be able to just get out of this fight. The other competitor, Fagrel, going to just opt to go away as well. Once those resources start to drain, you have to think, when is enough, especially going down in this mid-game. Probably the slowest round we've had yet in terms of how many players eliminated at this time, but that just shows everyone going for those placements and forcing the circle to bring everyone together.
Also shows the level of talent we have in this lobby. I mean, you know, we have some true global placers, you know, people that have went to globals, got top 20 are in this lobby right now, and just shows that there's 18 other people that can hang with them that are able to be at this level, and that's just a big shout out to the community that we've grown here at the HyperX Arena. These people playing together in lobbies after coming to Frags and helping to share tips and be in the Discord, creating YouTube content together, and, you know, kind of becoming a very formidable force in Vegas. But Loco takes walls with a beautiful movement there to get Lucky Bear 1,400 off the map.
There we go. Loco Takes Walls has been a competitor where we haven't actually seen them often, but when they do show up, especially for that duos tournament, they do work, and they are bringing it now because they know, hey, maybe I can work my way up, and the higher you go on this leaderboard in this top 10 in the money, the more money you're going to make and go home with. So it's not time to press the brake, it's time to go fast. Going to try and put out that damage, but then when you shoot out of the bush, you're revealing that you were in there in the first place. Bojack Horseman trying to run away, but Levi Bear pressing the attack. They're going to lose that exchange. Now Levi Bear going to be in a very particular situation where now we're going to be seeing Levi Bear go down. Fruit! Grabbing 3 total eliminations right now, 20 players left, and that just means Levi Bear most likely is going to lose their second place spot, and how far down they will go, we don't know just yet.
We don't know at all because there are still 20 people in this lobby. That was an insane fight by Fruit. I actually was thinking, you poked the bear, run. This is a scary moment. But no, Fruit feeling confident even after taking a little bit of harass and making it a little bit scary, but no time to talk about that. Fruit already worried about the next threat.
Looks like they're just opting to try out that Sentinel shotgun, trying to see what the rate of fire is, figuring out if they want that full auto or not. But yeah, that was the name of the game. Levi Bear really having that confidence, and I said, when will that confidence be the end of Levi Bear? And that was it. Unfortunately, just dropped in, and at the end of the day, like I said, aiming is what matters the most, and if you land that headshot with a shotgun, you are going to find your health bar being gone. 2 shots and you're out and back in the lobby screen, but unfortunately this is the final round, so you won't be coming back next time until next week. So be on the lookout, HyperX Arena, LasVegas.com. You'll be able to see when our next tournament is. Unger, though, It's looking like he's going to be able to take over that second place spot without a hitch. With Levi Bear being gone, no one else is there to contest that other than Zafu. But really, Zafu hasn't shown up at all. As they're going to go for that invisibility. It's been buffed a little bit, so it's a little bit more of a priority for some of these other competitors to try and grab. But Zafu was just talking about him, putting himself in probably one of the worst spots I've seen today, because you see so many competitors waiting for one person to cross their path into no man's land and just annihilate them.
Nice little lull in the action here for us to be able to recoup our thoughts. It has been a high action, even a bit slower pace, but it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of posturing. And right now, speaking of the pressure and the posturing, Diego's 8-year-old feeling just that, hanging out, taking a little bath, splish splash. But right now, it's going to be important to keep your wits about you, because there is some suppressive fire coming out from the hill. Zafu all the way up, feeling very comfortable to be king of the hill in this situation, but there's a lot of friends here coming in as the circle is starting to close. We're moving in now from the 4th circle to the 5th, so things are about to start getting tensions.
Inferno Shark has the Samurai Sword. Gonna rip through those middle builds like they're wood. They're gonna be able to go around, but loses where Rain City Pro went. They have no clue, but they're gonna try and teleport back up and grab that high ground, but they're gonna drop all the way back down. Fortunately enough, doesn't take any fall damage there, but that's going to be a very unfortunate situation when you're trying to press the advantage. Diego's 8-year-old going to take so much damage for Zafu, and that's only going to be it. Just needs a sliver of maneuverability and slither of aiming where you're going to be able to take out those competitors. Inferno Shark is going to go down to Night Blaster, who has had a few rough rounds, and Unger finds Rain City Pro. Unfortunately, that is a really rough run-in when you're trying to go against someone with a samurai sword or you go against someone with great aim. You have to take your battles, and Rain City Pro unfortunately took the battle with the person with the best aim possible. Snip going to be able to teleport out potentially as they build up some walls and wait for their time. Patience is also such a key factor as they're going to get pushed in on and teleport out. Beautiful move there to wait till the very last second, but there's another competitor waiting for him at their spawn. Unger going to be here breaking down these walls and has just one more shot to go to take him out and bring him back to the lobby.
The pace has escalated. After we crack 20, we get into this next threshold of 15, and then it's going to be at 11th and 12th. So you're going to get to see these people, the next 3 people, being very careful with their lives here, as these points matter so much. Many of our people that were at the top of the leaderboard have already fallen if you were not with us earlier. So everything that we saw leading into this map 5 is really up for grabs.
It really is, and we saw how close this leaderboard is in terms of being on the bubble, being in the money. That's why you came down here for one of the biggest events of the year. But remember what Aussie said earlier, if you didn't do good today, there's going to be more opportunities in the future for something like this as well. But Unger's going to press the attack as they're going to be able to drop down, has the invisibility, trying to break through and control the edits on these walls. Got the pickaxe, only wooden walls coming out. I would put down some bricks and hope that it's going to be able to survive, but the big bad wolf is lurking and he's going to blow down these walls. Hunter going to be able to work their way up and work around, trying to find only a slither of opportunity, a window to at least trim each other's health bar and give one or another person an advantage to go in and stop this build battle. But both of them trying to figure out where they want to go next. Teleport comes out from that Oni mask, and now we have Unger, who's going to have to get some more mats. No wood left, and they're going to try and wait. Sees the teleport come out, and they said, you know what? That's good enough for me. I tried my hand. I'm going to be able to fold for the time being as they try and get away from this circle. Baka takes down Night Blaster.
And we are back now within our top 10, our top 9 at that. So Night Blaster going to be walking away with 11 points locked in addition to any eliminations. But LeBlanc, James Baka in a quick fight with KO Komet.
Komet. I like to say like Kame, because like Kame's house. I don't know. That's what my brain.
I'll let you pick all that up because I'm slaughtering it and somebody has to.
No, trust me. There's like 20 different ways you can say Komet or Kame? I don't know. We'll figure it out momentarily. But Leviathan is trying to figure out how to win this build battle against Zafu. The circle is coming and it is working. Their health bar is not looking healthy at all. Trying to land those shots with the assault rifle, not going for the hip fire. Zafu sees the victim, but teleports out. They just stared each other down and said, you know what? You live another day, because this storm is going to start to hurt. After this 7th storm, you're going to be seeing their health bars going chunked and getting chunked down. Logo takes walls, going to be here. Unger grabs another 7 eliminations. We can only confirm that they're in 2nd place now. Logo takes walls, teleports around, tries to put up some walls so that they're protected from any single gunshot, because they are currently at such a huge disadvantage when it comes to any person being at that high ground like you're seeing right now, being able to build up some mats and work their way around.
Oh, Loco and Baka up in the top. Might be trying to put a stopper to the Baka, but it might not be a bite that you want to take. It is a lot of posturing over there. I can't see it, but we're going to look at Loco taking a little bit of harassment here. Already cracked shields, and that's going to be a little bit of the toes getting tapped. Loco needs to take these walls for themselves and get defensive, but unfortunately, it's going to be Fruit with the snipe from across the map. Baka losing a point to eliminations, but not really worried about it too much.
Not at all. Being able to just build up as fast as you can is one of the key integral parts of this entire tournament. They're going to be able to grab some more metal mats, refresh it, and worry about who's around them and try and scope out where these competitors are. There's about 5 of them who do have storm advantage. Zafu teleports around, pops a big shield, gets themselves back up to full health as we wait for this circle to close in and force these competitors to fight, because now they're taking their time. They don't want to be the next one eliminated. Remember, there's 2 additional points on the board from 6th to 5th place, so you don't want to get eliminated now.
2 points, the difference all the way up to the top, where we hit 25 for whoever takes home this victory royale. This is no doubt a tense moment for every single person on that stage. This is the final moments. You gotta make them count. Hungerfin sitting really comfortably right now, wishing probably to have a bit higher ground, as we see Fruit having, but right now everybody just waiting to see when we need to move with this storm, as the next circle is gonna be an entire shift.
It really will. We have all of these competitors trying to get zone advantage, as Bowser Jr. is unfortunately not going to be able to level up there and take over Bowser's Enterprise. He's going to go down to LeBach James here with 6 eliminations. He's going to take a chance, run across the road. Thankfully, he looked both ways, because if he did not, you would see rain of bullets just coming down and trying to eliminate him. Zafu going to be able to just put up wall after wall. Tons of mats and resources on their side, so they'll be able to survive for the time being, working their way around in the underground and trying to stay as safe as possible. But someone being at the high ground, no, never mind. It's LeBach James being in the same spot trying to contest, and they saw Zafu but didn't have their gun out, so their pickaxe doesn't do enough damage, nor does it do range damage. So LeBach James trying to find this extra wall, and they do. Zafu, they're going to know that their shields have been broken, breaks down the walls, but crazy trade between these 2 juggernauts. LeBach James going to be able to throw down his Sprite and work their shields up, as they're going to be able to teleport out of there. Unger breaks through, but did not have the gun out just yet, and they do take down Zafu. Zafu most definitely probably 3rd or 4th place finish there. Unger going to now be here with LeBach James trying to put out any sort of damage, but they're also going to work their way up the mountain. And with this whole next storm, you're going to be seeing some floating happening, because with those sky islands, we'll reference Sky Pia, you're going to be floating up to the sky and trying to find some better loot there. But will they survive long enough? Teleports are coming out from those Oni mats, and they're trying to position themselves in the best spot possible to have zone advantage.
A sky island with no Lunarians? Count me out, but we'll see what is going on here as we are in our top 4, our final 4, and there's only 3 storm movements left to go. They're going to be so important for you to stay on top of, as we have some of absolute killers lined up here for our killer's row of our final round. Final 4, we see the shifting sands. LeBach James going to have to take to the open fields, kind of positioned in a 3-on-1 in that way, as they're sitting waiting for his approach, but not going to be any exchange of fire quite yet. Just a lot of respect being paid as everybody tries to make transition to this storm safely, but that is going to be Baka really trying to make a statement here. If Baka could get these 3 eliminations and a victory royale, I'll give him a cake as well, but this is going to be, no doubt, some big action firing up. We're going to see Baka jumping to try to jump into some of these builds, but not going to do anything quite yet. That's a quick edit coming in from Unger. Not going to get the kill quite yet, but huge chunks being exchanged between the two.
Unger going to have that invisibility, but it's not going to save him for that long. We got a top 3 situation now. We got Labak James with 7 eliminations and Unger being gone. This is going to only give him more confidence as they're going to be able to find that high ground and take down 50 cal Hunter. Another 50 cal squad waiting, but we're seeing Baka does what Baka do. Grab that high ground, become the Obi-Wan to 50 cal Fruits, Anakin Skywalker. But will they be able to change it up PlayStation 2 style from the extended scenes? Labak James and 50 cal, they're going to be able to refresh, be even out. Baka jumps down from the side of the walls, going to get stuck in the storm. A lot of health damage, but now they're going to have to go into Fruits domain. What will it be? A clash between 2 absolutely great players. We are currently seeing Labak James putting out some damage onto these wooden blocks, trying to even out what we can see. But right now we can't see much because this is a huge village of just mats being placed everywhere. But Baka's going to opt for that high ground.
And the mats are only here though. There's no more mats in the pockets of our friends. We are fully expended on metal. We have very little wood to work with, and that's why we're seeing Fruit stuck out here with nowhere to go. And Baka being the one to play that sexy tune and walk away with the victory royale.
And walk away with a huge victory, taking the first place finish for the Winter Series Friday Frags event. He's come out time and time and time and time again for this tournament and has shown up, shown down, and taken names all the time. He has really shown why he deserves the trophy that's on the stage right now.
Biggest facts. I could not believe to see it. I thought that it might happen. A 3 kill in the final 4 into the victory royale. What else could you do but stand on top of your builds and hit your sexy tune the way Baka did? I love to see it. Such confidence coming out from this young man. Grown so much, as we've seen from going back to Frags 100. Even before that, it's absolutely insane, and just want to give a huge credit to everybody that's been a part of Baka's journey and every other contender as well that's come out here. There's a bunch of names on that leaderboard, and every single person that put points up on the board should be very proud of themselves.
1000%. You're going up against some of the best competition in Las Vegas in Fortnite. This is not just your everyday online tourney.
Facts.
This is real life. This is in the house, and you are going against so many talented competitors. So like Aussie said, if you were able to put up points to grab an elimination
1
today,
point.
that is where it all starts. That's where Baka started. That's where Unger started. Grabbing a single elimination, getting the confidence they need, and now look where they're at now. And with Baka just completely controlling the lobby, knowing exactly where he wanted to go, exactly what he wanted to do, that's where the showcase of talent and knowledge comes together, and it shows here today right at the HyperX Arena.
Man, it's like being at church on a Sunday right now in here, man. Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much. We, of course, are tallying up these scores so that we can get you all the most accurate picture of how all the end games shook down. But, Pidgey said it best. We're going to see a great trophy ceremony going to Baka. The trophy's been on the stage, and I know that all of our competitors were really anxious to see who would be walking away with it. When it all shakes out, though, it's going to be no questions on the table of who that first place person was.
I mean, there could be a question. If you don't know math, I mean, I'm just saying, there could be, being like, who actually did win? I don't know. Maybe someone else got 60 points in that one round and was able to take it all. But I could imagine that we're going to figure it out right now. We will see the winner of the main event series for the Winter Series, Baka, 152 points.
And then going in second place, we're going to see Unger taking home a beautiful 107 point. And then so close, Zafu going out at third with 105 points. Hunt Dog finishing up our top 4 with 100 points. Levi Bear, even after taking quite an early exit in the final drop, still going to be going home with 5th place and money in the pocket, feeling very happy. Fruit there in 6th place with 72 points. 7th place going to Quantize with 70 points. And then a big tie here for 8th place. We got Leviathan, Loco Takes Walls, and Tiny all tying for 8th place.
You're seeing Thagral, though, being so close to the money, but they got eliminated a little bit too early, and that allowed Tiny and Loco Takes Walls and Trojan to just barely scrape on by into the money. But still, you got to give yourself a pat on the back, a huge round of applause for all the competitors coming out today. Like we said before, there's going to be more of this in the future where you'll be able to have another chance to potentially bring home a trophy. So that just means you got to go home, train some more, boot up some aim labs, and come back even stronger. We will have even more tournaments being served up even in the upcoming weeks. So just keep on practicing and keep going.
Wait, we getting I'm not even gonna lie. That I was thinking about it too. I made the bet. I said if Baka can get these 3 and the Vic, I owe Baka a cake.
Oh!
We can run the tape back. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to young people for holding me accountable. But before we go that, we gotta hold ourselves accountable and give this beautiful trophy to the man of the hour, Baka, and the people that make it possible. The beautiful family. Look how proud everybody is. Oh my goodness.
That's amazing. I love that. The family coming out, supporting someone who has put so much time, hours, energy, and just effort to something that means so much to them, and having that family support, there's nothing else like it, and there's nowhere else you're going to get that sort of support other than really here at the arena and really at this event, being able to show up and take home a beautiful trophy to show all of your friends saying, hey, I'm one of the best. You don't believe me? I've got proof now. Hey. Not only do the points show it, but so does the physical trophy.
And there's more trophies to give. This weekend of action is not over. We have, like we said, amazing lineup still to come. Speedway main event coming tomorrow. You're going to hear Pidgey's beautiful voice talking about racers at a very
already heard enough of that.
No, they love it. You speak at a very high level about some amazing games, and tomorrow you'll be doing just that on Speedway.
And I won't be alone that time. I trust me. We got Logan coming in the house as well. So my voice won't be the only one you're hearing tomorrow, but come out and show out same time tomorrow. Play some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 150cc. There's top 12 competitors getting paid out there. So there's a lot of money on the line in a new finals format for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, served up by Oliver Fresh. It is a very fun event. Show up there, same exact time tomorrow, and have a blast playing some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But, Austin, got any last thoughts?
I was doing an interpretive dance to what you were cooking. It was really smooth. So I was just taking my liberties. But, hey, Pidgey, an absolute pleasure. Thank you for holding it down. We haven't done it in a minute. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
League of Legends days was the last time we actually commentated.
You don't want me getting back in the booth from Sling. I digress. Well, we
do. I want League back.
We have some amazing action still coming your way, like I said, for the rest of the weekend. But we just want to thank everybody, all the families, everybody that traveled on this Friday to come out and support their young people, get in the tournament themselves, or whatever brought you to the HyperX Arena today. And if you're joining us on the stream, make sure you follow us on all the socials so you can keep up with all the fun things that we are doing here. Like we kind of teased earlier, we might be having some fun summer announcements for you coming shortly, but I digress. Before I see Oliver, he's literally eyeing me with daggers. I'm in trouble, I'm sorry. But we're gonna get out of here. And I'm gonna stop spoiling all my friends' projects, and we will see you all at the next Winter Series event tomorrow for a Speedway main event.